submit to the High Council. I'm your host for this week, Jeff Hicks of World Class Bullshitters, and with me is Jeremy of Geeks and Gamers.
What's up, everyone? Happy to be back, ready to kick some ass and take some names.
And our guest for this week, Doomcock.
Greetings, High Council. It is my great pleasure to stand with you tonight, fighting for Star Wars against the depraved predations of Kathleen. Never met a good idea. She couldn't fuck up Kennedy.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Oh, my God. This is super exciting. So
this is going to be tonight's show, guys. This is going to be tonight's show.
Yeah, and before we get started, first of all, Doomcock, pleasure to have you. Your voice is more awesome than I could have imagined. And congratulations to Jeff on 60,000 subs that just happened today, if I'm not mistaken. So congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. I was out and about. I had to take my grandma to the doctor, so I didn't get to follow a lot of stuff today. And I get a message from the other guys like, we hit 60,000. So I checked it out, and we hit that milestone. So now I feel like I'm in the same club with you guys again.
Yeah, and yes, and for everyone asking, no, Ethan will not be here. He had a flight. They delayed his flight, and now he's stuck in an airport, so no EVS. But we're gonna be fine because we've got Doomcock here, so we're gonna be good.
Yeah, we got a hell of a show to give you guys this week. I'm talking about the Kathleen Kennedy situation, that woman on Twitter, the stuff going on with Jeremy, and of course, Doomcock. That's an event itself right there. So make sure you guys have your questions ready and be prepared for probably one of the best shows we're ever going to give you guys.
Yes, sir.
To be here with you guys, the High Council. You do outstanding work fighting back against the social justice warrior plague. And I've watched you for years now. I'm very happy to finally meet you guys.
Well, thank you. It's funny how we reach out to certain people and they're like, oh, I watch you guys. Of course I'll come on. It makes it really easy. So I'm excited to have you here too.
Yeah, like I said on my live stream earlier, I was doing all I was seeing was Doomcock, all hail Doomcock, and I'm like, this is awesome. I'm hyped as hell just to hear Doomcock's voice on the High Council tonight. So,
well, we've said the name Doomcock quite a bit. Let's Doomcock, tell the listeners who you are and what you do over on your channel and why they should be subscribed right now.
Well, I am a supervillain that I have the main mission that I have is, of course, to take over the world. I am destined to rule, and I'm going to basically rule the world or fucking destroy it. So there's that. But on the other side, I am also a pop culture critic. I have taken a stand to fight for our shared mythology, our common modern myths, and our cultural heritage that I feel has been under grievous assault by the forces of corporations who really are trying to put an expiration date on our dreams so that they can sell us some more. And I'm sick to fucking death of it. I mean, Star Trek and Star Wars have pretty much been planted in the dirt in the same year, last year. It was a goddamn disgrace. And I'm just really proud to be here fighting with you guys. But to give you the core setup for Doomcock, I am stationed at the center of the earth in my lair named Xanadoom. And I live next door to a bunch of Nazis who came down from World War II in German saucers. They pretty much lost track of the movement now. They're just really, you know, they like to drink and eat Wiener Schnitzel and, you know, dress up in drag because, you know, there are no women down here other than lizard people. And yeah, there's dinosaurs, and I also have contained in my lair an eldritch god from another dimension named Harvey Cthulhu, who, if he ever escapes, he is going to destroy our entire reality. So don't piss me off.
Now, before we start tonight's show, we have a few super chats. First from Bagel Goose. Are you Doomfist more hung, brother?
Dirk Doomler. I'll just say that. Dirk Doomler.
The Grand Inquisitor says, all hail Lord Doomcock. Hail Doomcock.
Grand Inquisitor, Doomcock salutes you.
Nerdrotic channel, thank you very much for your generous super chat. All hail Doomcock.
Nerdrotic, you are awesome. Tomorrow we are going to review the final episode of The Expanse, which is Doomcock's favorite fucking show right now. Do you guys watch that?
I don't have any time for TV right now, man.
The only thing I watch is I'll binge Netflix shows, but that's about it right now. So, but I haven't seen that.
It's pretty good. I recommend it for sure.
I just finished Luke Cage, so that kind of was my binging for a while.
Damn, you are behind. So,
Tippy Tail McKitty says, "Doomcock, can I apply to be your henchman?"
You certainly can. You can contact me on my YouTube channel, or you can head on over to patreon.com/Doomcock. That's where the recruits generally gather.
The Rax the Hero wants to know if Cecil's coming. Come on now, Cecil. Logan Michael, thank you, wants to know, are you Dr. Doom's brother, Doomcock?
No. Doomcock is real. Dr. Doom is fictional. He's a comic book character. I'm here. But I do admire that comic book character. He's my favorite comic book villain by far.
I do love me some classic Dr. Doom, that Kirby Lee era Dr. Doom.
Oh man, Kirby and Lee, fucking amazing. I just read one of those today. I read number 11, Fantastic Four number 11. And in the story, get this, Dr. Doom stops by Lee and Kirby's office on Medicine Avenue and has him contact the Fantastic Four to lure them over to their comic book offices so that so Dr. Doom can abduct them. Isn't that cool?
I love classic Marvel. I think I read the first 50 issues of Fantastic Four. I have a website where I can go, so I'm a big Spider-Man guy. But classic Marvel's fun.
Yeah, I read comics in my younger days. Once you get married and have kids, you don't have time to do shit. So
yeah, I don't want a family yet. I got a YouTube channel.
Yeah, a YouTube channel is a harsh mistress indeed.
Now, Doomcock, I'm going to have you back on to discuss comics one of these days. Now that I know what kind of fan you are in terms of comics, we got to have you back on. So I'm throwing that out there early. Let's see. Dikara says EVS is missing his soy pants. That's very true. Thank you. Random Game User 42, been a servant of Doomcock since he had 200 subs. Hail Doomcock. Happy to know you.
Yes, Random. Thank you so much. One of my first subscribers. Really a wonderful person. And you know what's funny? I remember when I just started out, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I just was so goddamn pissed about Star Trek Discovery that I just had to shout into the void, "No, this sucks. God damn it. What the fuck's wrong with you people?" And I figured I'd be like a, goddamn prophet out in the desert chowing down on locusts and completely ignored. But at one point I had 12 subscribers. And this guy said, haha, yeah, you're going to take over the world with 12 subscribers. And I said, well, I know of a certain desert prophet that had 12 subscribers, and he did pretty good. So fuck you, asshole.
Party Om Civi, thank you very much. This seems like he's done even less wrong than Empire. Incredible. I don't know what that... Hold on, let me reread that one. This seems like he's done even less wrong than the Empire. Incredible. I guess he's talking about you in terms of your evil deeds.
Oh, yeah. I haven't yet begun to do evil. I'm really, minor evil, but, I got plans. My God. You just wait.
We're gonna read 2 more, and then we're gonna get into the show. And don't worry, guys, I got this under lock. So make sure if you got your questions and stuff you want to say to Doomcock, don't worry, I haven't forgot you. We found out how to read the super chats in order without forgetting anyone. So if it takes a few minutes, don't worry, but we got a show to get on the road. So Rostakind 3, all hail Doomcock. You and Harvey Cthulhu are the saviors of the universe. Unleash the truth, Lord Doomcock.
I am trying. And thanks to the good people of the High Council, my voice is spreading wider tonight than it ever has. So thank you, gentlemen, again.
Yeah, we're almost to 1,000 people. I hope we can get 1,000 likes. So,
holy crap.
Yeah, already. R. Kelly, you get the final super chat for the first segment just for a moment. Kathleen Kennedy is a lizard person, and it's from the Hollow Earth.
Very true right there. Very true.
Well, give me your fucking address. I'll, go have words with her.
And for those asking, because we keep seeing people that are joining in, Ethan is stuck at an airport. His flight got canceled, so it got changed. So he is not going to be here tonight. But we have Doomcock, so we're good.
The man's trying to keep down EVS, so keep him in your hearts and minds. Press F for Ethan. Sorry, that came up from Greephole as a super chat. But don't worry, I got the other ones lined up. So, guys, let's talk about the biggest story of the week. So big, in fact, that it made me go live randomly on a Monday. Jeremy, you and Ethan have been talking about it for a couple days now. This whole Grace Randolph video. Jeremy, help everyone get up to speed, since you were the first person on the scene with this news outside of Grace Randolph.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I had people on Twitter sending me this story with Grace Randolph from Beyond the Trailer, really big YouTube channel. I think she's got about 700,000 subs. She's been doing this a while. I've never been the biggest fan of Grace, never hated her, but I've never, she's been cool overall. But lately she's been on point with the Disney stuff, and she has a source within the walls of Disney and Lucasfilm, and her source tipped her off that Bob Iger called a secret meeting with the top brass of Marvel, Lucasfilm, and Pixar. And word is Bob Iger is very aware of the quote-unquote, as Grace said it, shit show that is Star Wars, and he wants Kathleen Kennedy out, to the point where he's actually offered the position to multiple people, including J.J. Abrams. Everyone has turned it down because Kathleen Kennedy has created such a divided work atmosphere right now. And so that's huge news, and I tend to believe it. And it's only because I believe it simply because, I mean, anybody can say anything about sources. I've had people reach out to me and I couldn't reveal who they were. So I get the hesitation to believe when people say sources, but you just look at everything that's going on. Again, the Walt Disney Company, you can be as critical of them as you want. They are a successful brand, and they generally do successful things. The fact that Lucasfilm is such a disaster right now, you would have to believe that they do want to get rid of Kathleen Kennedy, that you would have to believe they want to get this turned around behind the scenes, at least anyway. So yeah, it's massive news. I jumped on YouTube, made a video about it, and it's taken off. And then I covered even further, whereas last night or early this morning, someone sent me a tweet where they tweeted Frank Marshall, which is Kathleen Kennedy's husband, and they said, the guy said, we're on your wife's side. We all know the real person is Bob Iger, and he is throwing your wife under the bus. It's his decisions that have ruined Star Wars. And Frank Marshall liked the tweet. I was like, oh, shit. I was like, all right, look, I'm not trying to be like the National Enquirer here. Okay, I get it. I've accidentally liked tweets before. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, fuck, I didn't mean to like that. You know what I mean? And so I get it. But it's still more drama that is unfolding. And so I thought it was pretty interesting. So it's been a really exciting few days.
Oh, I know. The people on my live shows have been going nuts. They're like, holy crap, does this mean we've won? What's next? Is Dave Filoni in charge? I don't know yet. But Doomcock, have you heard of this situation? And if so, what do you think about it?
Oh, God, yeah. And I mean, what I think of it, agony. What I think is what I heard is that Iger was saying, well, no one rid me of this troublesome bitch, and no one would step up and take the goddamn job. And so what do I think? I think, fuck, we almost had her. She was almost gone. I feel like I just got all the leaves in my yard raked up, and then I stepped on the rake and took a shot right in the nuts. That's what I felt like. Yes, it's a cause for optimism that Iger wants her gone. It's a sign that the entire universe hasn't gone insane. But to quote original gangster Dr. Smith, oh, the pain. Damn it.
I don't know how to follow up with that. Do that.
That's what I thought, I was not happy. I started to weep.
I want to touch on one point that Jeff, you said a lot of people are saying, well, have we won if this in fact happens? And no, even if Kathleen Kennedy gets fired tomorrow, we haven't won anything, because she has just put such a disease into Lucasfilm, and it's spread so far. You look at how the employees of Lucasfilm treat the fans online. It's the most insane business strategy I've ever seen in my life. So there's a lot more that has to happen. If Kathleen Kennedy goes, and I said this on my live stream earlier, if Kathleen Kennedy goes, Rian Johnson goes. I feel like they're attached, like they are married at Star Wars. So if Kathleen Kennedy stays, Rian Johnson's trilogy stays. If Kathleen Kennedy gets fired, Rian Johnson's trilogy is dead. I feel like they're one and the same. But the story group has to go. You know, Pablo Hidalgo, all these people, they need a cleansing at Lucasfilm, and it begins cut the head off the snake and then go from there.
Ooh, I like the words you use. I don't know if they're gonna. I'm with you that they're one and the same. If one goes, the other goes. But do you think they'll be able to use that as leverage to get her out? Because Rian Johnson's film is not the hit that people want to act like it is. I know you see that $1 billion at the box office, but let's look at the damage going forward with the Star Wars brand. Doomcock, you cover Star Trek. Star Trek is very damaged right now. Star Trek has had, I think, more damage done to it in the last 10 years or so than Star Wars. But Star Wars has had a bigger marketing push behind it, and it's failing really hard right now.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It is terrible. It's funny that we can go from the prequels where everyone's like, well, at least the original ones are fine, and then you got the sequels where people are like, well, the prequels aren't that bad. I mean, they can make anything look good by comparison. And Rian Johnson is the guy. He's like patient zero for that. Why give him more?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess Kathleen is getting something off of Ruin Johnson. I call him Ruin Needle Dick Johnson, but that's just me. I don't know. I think that maybe he's hitting that or something. I don't know. I have no inside information. I don't know. I have no idea.
I feel like they were lost in their own arrogance with Star Wars. I feel like they live in such a bubble in Hollywood anyway. Everybody is in their own bubble in Hollywood. They don't feel like the real world exists. I mean, not to bring politics into this, and I'm not, but if you just look at the 2016 election and how out of touch with the rest of the country they were, and they operated in this Star Wars where, I mean, I thought Star Wars was potentially bulletproof too. But they have been operating thinking Star Wars would survive their social justice nonsense. And now that it hasn't, they're having trouble comprehending that wait a minute. The world isn't the same as LA. You mean Hollywood's not normal for the entire country? And they're finding out the hard way. And I feel like they just looked at the box office success of The Last Jedi and looked at it in isolation because Star Wars is going to succeed, and their bubble is bursting, and they're starting to breathe oxygen from the real world. And you know, it's kind of like that scene in Toy Story where Buzz is like his helmet popped off and he started choking. That's kind of where they're in the process now, and they're starting to understand that it's actually good air you're breathing. You're not in your bubble anymore. So that's the way I look at it. So.
We've had a ton of super chats pop up, so let's give the people the respect they deserve. JVR says, "Greetings, my Lord Doomcock."
Greetings, my friend. Good to hear from you.
Logan Michael, new listener of World Class Bullshitters and super fan at this point. Best Punisher comic. I'll go with. I like Punisher War Journal. Is that? Yeah, that's the book where he each individual comic is a mission, right?
I remember Circle of Blood? I think was one. I didn't read a lot of Punisher. I read Uncanny X-Men. I read Savage Dragon and Shadow Hawk and, Batman, Superman. I didn't read a lot of Punisher growing up. So,
I like the Garth Ennis one. I don't know what it was called, but I like that series. That was good.
Oh, Punisher Max?
Yeah, maybe. I can't remember the name, but
it was real violent.
Garth Ennis and, the same guys that drew Preacher as well. Worked on it.
Yeah, that's Punisher Max. That was a cool.
Okay.
I remember reading.
Is that the ones with the coffins on the cover?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Let's see. The Healthy Man. I'm honored by your juicy moistness. Your channel helps me get through my darkest hour. We are Cyberfrog. Pray for Ethan.
Oh, Ethan. It's hard to pray for a guy who could, buy the plane with his comic book money. Shit, he could just buy another plane and say, "I'm coming home."
We've got a Shadowhawk fan in the comments. I see you. I see you in the comments with your Shadowhawk love.
Logan Michael against this Doomcock sounds like he would go to wizard conventions.
Yes, I do have some mastery of the mystic arts as well. I do have that.
Sorian Sky, thank you very much. Thank you to everyone, by the way. What were you waiting for? Look up. The Force aborted The Force aborted in the state of contemporary cinema. Jump to 6 minutes, 41 seconds for the J.J. Abrams interview with Iger. All right. Well, I got to make sure that I do that because that was brought up to me this morning. So that is now on my list of things to do. Bikini90, thank you very much for your generous super chat. That has to be the biggest cucked marriage in history. Ryan Johnson, the one always on top and acts like the abused wife, denying to everyone that he gets hit every night. LOL. Sulfaria, I'll see you in Chicago, Jeff. I'm a Dayton native. Well, Sulfaria, I'm in Dayton quite often, so if you ever catch me up there, say hey. Vorhe67, best guess why Lucasfilm hates us and never listens?
I think that Luke, like I said, it all comes back to that bubble. But they thought that they could try to push the old fans out because in their minds, the little SJW Twilight crowd that they've been pandering to, they felt that they would support their business model, and so their arrogance is catching up. And the crowd that they thought was going to support them left them high and dry at the altar and lost $100 million for Solo, and is a beautiful thing. So
yeah. I think Disney has made a conscious decision to trade out the old fans for new ones. I think they think this is smart because, they believe the children are our future, like the song says, but Doomcock hates fucking kids. So to hell with that. But listen, they're trying to recruit a new fan base that they think can move forward with. But the problem for Disney is there's no magic in these new films. There's nothing in these abominations as compelling, as astonishing as the explosion of creative exuberance that was the original trilogy. I mean, there's a hell of a lot more competition these days than there was then with Marvel, with Fox, with all the great fantasy and sci-fi on TV. And it's much harder to blow people away these days. So the support of new fans going forward is going to be shallow and fickle compared to the fandom that has grown up over the course of 40 fucking years, you idiots. You have a bunch of ADD pseudopod fans who flock to the newest social justice warrior banner, but they're not going to stick. They haven't the depth of attention to stick. So basically their new fandom is a bunch of SJWs, not true Star Wars fans. That's what Disney has left. And as Disney is finding out, SJWs don't buy toys. And you've documented that very well, Jeff, in a number of different videos.
Thank you.
It's true. Now, one thing, and I want to touch on something that Doomcock said, and I agree. You guys know I do like The Force Awakens. I've defended The Force Awakens for the most part, but I agree that there's not a lot of magic in there's no magic in these movies except for one thing, and I want your opinions on this. The scene under Maz's castle with Rey and the Force Vision and Obi-Wan's voice and Yoda's and the flashbacks. That to me was the only magic we've gotten in the sequel trilogy. And it was for what, 35 seconds? And it was completely ignored. Like Ryan Johnson completely ignored all of that. And that little small element, that was probably the best glimpse into Star Wars we've gotten. And they ignored it completely. And I don't understand how that was set up. What was the point? Why the fuck did you bring Ewan McGregor in to do a voiceover for this scene? Why did you bring Yoda's voice into it? To ignore it completely. What are your guys' thoughts on that scene in particular? Did you think that touched on a little bit of the magic that is missing from this sequel trilogy overall?
Doomcock, you're our guest. Go first.
Well, the veterans talk about stolen glory when somebody goes to a military surplus store and buys a medal or buys a uniform or something. And I mean, that is basically stolen nostalgia. I mean, that's stolen greatness in that scene, because you mentioned that there's Yoda and there's Obi-Wan and there's all these like elements of true magic that they're just ripping off and repackaging and shoveling at us. There's nothing in those movies, original to those movies, that doesn't suck. And that's what I think. I don't know what Jeff thinks.
He'll probably agree with you.
Yeah, here's the thing. Doomcock, we've never spoken before, but I don't know if you've heard me say this on air, but the moment the movie started with The Force Awakens, I knew something was up. And that part with the lightsaber was one of the most angry I was in the entire film. I don't like that they made a lightsaber, this thing that you touch and it connects you to the Force and all this shit. And then in The Last Jedi, Rey communicating with Kylo Ren makes her download the fucking Jedi or the Sith power or whatever she knows what she's doing. Like, it's lazy progression of a character. Like you said, it's purchased glory. They're just, purchasing the Force and giving it to this chick. So Jeremy, I'm with you about wanting magic. I just don't think they had that. I think some of the magic that they had, I think the only scene in all these Disney ones that is like a magical, powerful moment is when Luke dies and the Force theme plays and all that shit to mirror the original Star Wars film. Other than that, everything seems overly produced and fake.
Well, we have a quota on this show where at least once a week you and I have to bring up our disagreement over The Force Awakens, and and then 95% of our listeners are like, Jeremy's a fucking idiot for liking The Force Awakens, and he kicked off the show. So I'm just filling the quota, man. I'm just filling.
That's fine. People come to the
I was genuinely interested in both your thoughts on that, though. And go ahead, Jeff. I interrupted you.
Oh no, all I was saying is people expect certain things when they come to listen to the High Council. So there you go, folks. You got your weekly. I disagree with Jeremy, and I'm going to secretly kill him off air type of situation.
Well, can I put a kick into The Force Awakens as well for a moment?
Please,
absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go around this in a circular way. I read a report on, I think it was comicbook.com or something, about Mark Hamill today, talking about that Jar Jar Abrams was planning on Luke displaying great Jedi powers in The Last Jedi. That was his plan, according to Hamill. But, Doomcock is not impressed by that. These kind of Jar Jar Abrams apologists. Listen, Jar Jar Abrams is permanently on Doomcock's double secret shit list, okay? Sure. Jar Jar would have made Luke suck less than Ruin Johnson did, but do not forget that Jar Jar is the destroyer of franchises, one of the four whores of the apocalypse, along with Kathleen Kennedy, Ruin Johnson, and Alex fucking Kurtzman, the murderer of Star Trek. So Jar Jar would have fucked it up different, but rest assured, fuck it up he would. I mean, because he already fucked up The Force Awakens. Mary Sue Ray was on his watch. And who banished Luke to Fuck Off Island in the first place? How low can Jar Jar go? Kai low. That's how fucking low.
God damn it.
That's how low. So I don't excuse Jar Jar fucking Abrams for anything. And The Force Awakens, in my opinion, sucked. No offense, Jeremy.
Oh, none taken. That's the nicest way people tell me they disagree with me on The Force Awakens.
You're a smart guy, and I like your videos, but yeah.
Yeah, usually pay like, fuck you, die, Jeremy. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, you could have just, it's kind of like in Billy Madison, a simple wrong would have been just fine.
That's the first thought I had, too. Let's see. VGEDRR says, whether this offends some or not, Lucasfilm's handling of the events is a lot like the Democrats.
It's true.
You're entitled to say what you want to say, and I don't necessarily disagree with you. It's a shit show on both fronts.
We typically do try to stay I've mentioned politics on my channel just as an overarching point because the SJWs are trying to use that against some of us now. But I've never preached my politics to anybody. We welcome everybody from all sides. You all that watch this channel and watch Geeks and Gamers know where I stand, but you also know that Geeks and Gamers has a lot of people that disagree with me. And so, but in isolation, I agree with that point. So.
Yes, and Doomcock steers clear of politics because Democrats and Republicans can go fuck themselves. I'm going to rule the world, and I don't give a damn about any of them. So there you go.
Jess Darvis says, the sequels are here to make us appreciate the prequels. Roundhead's trilogy will make us appreciate the sequels. Ugh.
Oh, God.
It's true.
It's true. This is one of your fans. Doomcock, Demon Scythe Synthwave says, Doomcock, you know me, big fan. Can I request you say silence a lot more at random intervals or whenever you need to butt in? Thanks. Smiley face.
Silence! Okay.
Party Alm Civvy. We don't win until all the troublemakers are out of a job and Star Wars is left alone indefinitely or returns to higher quality. Hail Doomcock.
Thank you. Thank you, Demon Scythe. And who was that last comment from?
Party Om Civvy.
Party Home City. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you.
Great Loner says, give me the job to run Lucasfilm. I'll work for $250,000 a year. I'd fire Cuck Wendig and Ryan Small Johnson over Twitter and savor their soy tears.
Now,
Jesus
hey,
Christ.
real quick. Now, there was somebody in my super chat earlier said something about there was a report that Mark Hamill is, I guess he's said he's coming around to what Ryan Johnson did with Luke in The Last Jedi now. Has anybody heard about this report? I didn't get time to research it, but has anybody heard about
him if that's true?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and is that the report you were talking about earlier?
I'm sorry.
You were mentioning an interview with Mark Hamill, and that's what made me, because you said you were reading it earlier. And I was like, is this the same one where he was talking about that? And I didn't know if anybody had followed up on that. So,
No, I didn't actually see that he had come around to ruin Johnson's point of view. I think basically when you asked, had you heard anything about it? My opinion was, yeah, I saw the end of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Sure. So obviously they put a pod next to Hamill's bed, and now he's come around to the mouse.
well,
I'm going to tell you something, Hamill, you motherfucker. Oh, don't piss me off.
I think they put a lawyer in his backyard, and every time Mark looks out to drink a cup of coffee, that lawyer just looks at him and points to a briefcase and nods, and he's like, oh shit, I better get on Twitter.
Well, I just Googled it, and then this is on IO9, and it says, and now here's Mark Hamill with a truly grim realization about Luke's arc in The Last Jedi. So I guess he is coming around, so they are probably like, hey Mark, you're the only guy in Star Wars that anybody has any fucking respect for left. Here's a cool $5 million. Can you do this for us? And we're going to put you back in episode 9. That's how I take it, to be honest. So, I mean, what are we, 6 months now? You know? And look, people, I don't know. It's Mark Hamill. You can tell, you've seen the struggle with Mark Hamill with his original comments about what was going on in The Last Jedi. Then once it went viral, then he retracted. And we've all seen the subtle shots that he's taken, and he always dials it back. I mean, it's a tough situation for him to be in. He's clearly not happy with what happened, and he wants to be vocal, but he's under contract from the #1 entertainment company in Hollywood. So, they have like hitmen just sitting around waiting to cap him if he keeps talking bad. So, I mean, he's got to say what he's got to say. So, but I don't think too far into it for his comments, other than they probably paid him and they probably gave him some marching orders. That's what I believe.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true.
Yeah, and I think it was Grace Randolph mentioned this in her video also, and it's a topic I didn't talk about, but I should have. But they made the point that JJ actually listened, like he cowered to, which that's what JJ does a lot, is coward people, but JJ cowered to Harrison Ford with what Harrison wanted to see done with Han Solo in The Force Awakens. And yet when Mark Hamill spoke up about what he wanted to see from Luke, Ryan Johnson flat out ignored him. And that just showed, I mean, Harrison Ford actually has, he's a legitimate movie star outside of Star Wars, whereas Mark Hamill's, he's kind of tied to Star Wars. So that's interesting how that all worked out, though. So.
Yeah, I think that's terrible, though, because that means that Han was okay with like just strolling up la-di-da to a maniac with a flaming light fire sword and unarmed and just went out like a punk. I mean, that was okay with Harrison Ford. Really?
His ego, man, for the last 34 years from, well, it would have been 35 years, no, 32. Point is, he was pissed since 1983. That probably ate up him every day. Like, oh man, I should have died. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you get some form of payment for Han Solo merchandise for 30 years or something that you got to be getting. Like, just be thankful you had that. Mark Hamill only had that. You had Indiana Jones and like 30 other movies.
Yeah,
so
it sucks to find out in their golden years that a lot of your idols turned into idiots.
Well, I got my, we always talk about Ethan's Cyber Frog. I got an idea for an Indiegogo comic that I'll talk about soon, but it involves Harrison Ford. And if you're a listener of World Class Bullshitters, you already know the story, and we're going to turn it into a comic book. So I expect to get 20 times what Ethan gets, so we can hire Harrison Ford to be in the movie adaptation. Folks. Sire J. Longstroke says, does Ryan Johnson smell of his own farts? Probably. His breath does. Sure.
How the hell would you tell the difference? You know?
The smell of
not
smog.
farty stinks.
Logan Michael, Doomcock, you'll like this one. Thank you, Logan Michael. Doomcock should be on every episode of the podcast.
Well, it's an honor. I'm having a great time. It's amazing. I'm really glad you guys asked me for here.
GR People says, I'd pay to listen to Doomcock plus Edwin Boyette. I don't know who Edwin Boyette is.
I don't know who Edwin Boyette is. He's the guy that makes spaghetti. Chef Edwin Boyette. Chef Boyard.
Miller Boyette production. Is this a 1990 sitcom on ABC, TGIF? Let's see. DeBuzz General says, Doomcock should perform Star Wars Shakespeare's book.
Ah, that's Star Wars Shakespeare. Yes, I've seen that. I haven't read it, but that's a pretty cool idea. Dude,
you could make a killing in narration. Like that epic voice guy, John What's-His-Face, is fine. I'm not here to shit on him, but you definitely blow him out of the water, especially with the inflection in your voice. You should look into that.
100%, man. I'll hook you up with Ivan Ortega. He can edit and you can do voiceovers, and that would be a kick-ass combo right there. So
that'd be great. Yeah, I'd love it.
Are you familiar with Ivan? Doomcock?
No, I am not.
You got to look up Ivan Ortega on YouTube. He's actually recutting The Last Jedi. You actually should watch his. He re-edited the ending of The Last Jedi, and it actually gave me chills. He's on the Geeks and Gamers team, and Ivan's amazing. He's an amazing editor. He's taken all of these clips, and he has recut The Last Jedi to make it at least watchable. And he actually gave ray training. He changed everything about it.
Wow.
So it's really cool. You'll see everybody in the comments start hyping Ivan up because he's great. So
he is.
Yeah.
I will check that out. That's fucking amazing.
Speaking of The Last Jedi, did you see it hit Netflix this week?
Yeah, that's what everybody was telling me in my live stream earlier, and I was like, well, the 14 or 15 people that want to see it will be happy. So,
well, what is it? It hit Netflix. Sorry, The Last Jedi is on Netflix.
Oh, fuck.
Well, one of our female listeners posted on our Facebook page about how she finally saw The Last Jedi, and she just couldn't do it. She hated the movie. So I'd like to hear somebody critique her because she didn't like the movie. They won't.
Yeah, right. She's the wrong target demographic to target. That's not who the SJWs want to hit.
Yep.
I like that phrase, the wrong target demographic to target.
Yeah.
The art of
assholes.
They are. Those people, like Diversity in Comics says, they only destroy, they don't create.
Yeah.
Star Wars was doing just fine.
Can I talk about something real quick related to that?
Of course.
Something pissed me off today. I'd like to share. I was sitting on the toilet, as is my wont when I need to take a shit. And I had a copy of Entertainment Weekly on the ground, the new one with Aquaman on it. And you know that bullseye thing at the back where they, had the targets, and things are off target or on target. Well, they had in the bullseye section, they took a shot at the fandom menace, at all of us. And I quote, I've got it here. Hold on. It says, "Dear Star Wars fans, if Luke Skywalker has to tweet at you to stop harassing actresses, you're probably not on the light side of the Force." To which Doomcock replies, "Fuck you, EW. I am sick to fucking death of being slandered as a sexist or a bigot just because I want Star Wars to stop sucking. I've given up on it being brilliant or the original Star Wars was. At this fucking point, I'd settle for it just to stop sucking, and that's such a low goddamn bar, All they had to do to avoid sucking is stuff like, don't have Luke suck milk off a fucking space manatee. That's one. Don't have Han stupidly approach a homicidal maniac and get cut down like a punk without even trying to defend himself. Avoid having a frozen Leia fly through space like a fucking Mary Poppensicle, and maybe have Luke, Han, and Leia all together on screen just once, just one time. Is that too much to fucking ask?
That is too much to ask.
Apparently so. Apparently
Come on
so.
now, man.
That was actually the first question when I was applying for my alt-right, bigot, racist, white supremacist card. The first question was, "Did you want Han, Luke, and Leia on screen in The Force Awakens?" And I was like, "Yes." And they're like, "That's you don't have to answer any more questions. You're a fucking bigot." You know? It's just like unbelievable. Like, how do you make that opinion? How do you? And then a lot of people that were upset with The Force Awakens, they wanted Lando. Does that make us racist too? You know, like where's Lando? You know,
Lando was the van.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
But now he's fucking a robot. So
yeah, their logic is they have no logic. So.
Well, here's a good question from the Art of Ed Watson. Bob Iger won't give Kathleen Kennedy's job to Dave Filoni. Do you guys think hiring George Lucas would help, even if it's just long enough to course correct?
Lucas will never take a job. He will never take it. He's so beyond. What's George now? Is he like 70?
Oh yeah,
he's. I truly feel like there's a huge part of Lucas that looks at what's going on with Star Wars, and part of him is probably heartbroken. The other part of him's like, you know, you fuckers are the ones that kicked my ass for all those years, and he doesn't want any part of it. And so I understand not wanting to hire Dave Filoni to run Lucasfilm. I truly do, and I understand that you need someone that has experience in running and producing live action films and running a studio, but Dave Filoni definitely. There is literally no reason this man should not be in charge of creative right now. And then you want to hire a suit to sit in the office and do the business side of it. That's fine. Just put him in head of creative. It's a home run. But I don't think George would even. It's not even remotely possible for him to come back. In my opinion,
I don't think he would. I'd greet that news happily. That video recently about my laws of canon that I laid down, and really only the creator can add or subtract from canon. And so we would actually get some Star Wars movies. Now, for better or worse, I don't know, but I would respect that. And maybe he's learned his lesson. Maybe he's had time to think. He's been out in the wilderness, and he'll come back and he could set things on fire. Because I don't know. Do you believe that shit that they've been selling, that propaganda about his wills thing, about that he wanted to do all this shit that sounded pretty bad, or is that bullshit? Is that propaganda, do you guys think?
I mean, I believe. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the Clone Wars, but I mean, they got really deep into that in the lost episodes of the Clone Wars. And it was pretty fascinating stuff, but they twisted a lot of it. I mean, they were basically, the mainstream took a few comments from him, if I'm not mistaken. And if there's more information, then I apologize. But they took it, and they were just trying to say, yeah, George Lucas's version was going to be garbage, so you better be thankful for Rian Johnson's masterpiece. I felt like that's how the media was portraying it. But Jeff, you may have more info on it.
That's all I've heard. I haven't even actually considered it to be propaganda, but that could be an interesting thing. The way they skew stuff definitely can color people's opinions. I heard it and I was like, really? The organic, whatever it is, the parts that make the Force. I'm like, just leave the Force alone, dude.
Well, yeah, and Doomcock mentioned something too about canon and how the only the creator can add or break canon, and that's one reason why I defended the prequels so hard. Not that I thought the Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones were great movies, because they weren't. I do love Revenge of the Sith, but it's George Lucas's universe. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. Right. You know what I mean? But Rian Johnson, this is not your universe. You walked into something that someone else built, and 40 years of fandom kept it alive. And you walked in and started breaking every fucking rule known to man. And that's what pisses me off about it. You don't have the right to do what you did. George Lucas does. You don't have to like what he did. But he gave us this world, and he can do whatever he wants with it. Rian Johnson didn't do shit. He directed a mediocre movie, gave Joseph Gordon-Levitt bad makeup, and he got a Star Wars movie, and that's it. And so, but he got what he wanted. He divided the fandom, so he kind of accomplished what he was out to do.
Okay, sorry, Doomcock.
No, I was just going to say, and the thing that really makes me sick about fucking Rian Johnson is he gets this trilogy handed to him, and he has the balls to say, I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. Isn't that just fucked up? Think about it. if you were actually a Star Wars fan, if you knew shit, if you'd given it a thought, and somebody handed you a trilogy, you'd say, "Oh yeah, I know what I'm going to do." You know, not exactly, but you would have the passion to say, "I've dreamed about this. I've wanted this." And that's what's fucking wrong with Hollywood, is they don't give it to it's not a meritocracy. It's not a fanocracy. It's just a bunch of fuckheads wanking around that have no goddamn idea what they're doing. It's an obscenity.
You're 100% right.
As usual. And just before, because I know you need to get super chats. And someone can clarify in the comments, but if you haven't seen the Clone Wars and you have Netflix, you can, and you're interested in the Wills, I believe it's like the final 2 or 3 episodes of the Lost episodes, which is beyond season 5. And you can watch those. I don't think there's anything that's going to break the series for you, because really the Clone Wars only went 5 seasons, and those Lost episodes don't really break anything for you. So if you haven't seen Clone Wars and you're interested in that, I think it's like the final 2 or 3 episodes with Yoda's arc, and it's fucking fascinating stuff. So I would highly recommend that.
Cool.
Now I'm going to watch it, because I haven't seen those. I've only seen the first
okay, so
5
listen,
seasons.
yeah, and if you watch the Lost episodes, it doesn't work altogether because it feels really shoddy. And there is the Jar Jar arc. It's like a 3-episode arc, and it's truly the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, it's so bad. It's a Jar Jar and Mace Windu arc, and it's so bad. It's so like I'm holding my head right now, like in a sign that I'm having a migraine. It's that bad just to think about it. That's how bad it is. So skip it.
It's like a really fucked up version of Three's Company, you know. I'm not gonna door.
Who are the Ropers?
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, is in the comments. So.
Yes, I'm moving in next door.
Let's see. Mexican and cheese. It says they're trying to appeal to the youth by making Star Wars something moms love. SJW degrees make people dumb. You're right.
Did you hear me, Jeff? EVS is in the comments. So.
Oh, what's he saying? Is he trying to get on?
No, he just said peace, y'all. Let's see. I think that's what it is. The chat's already moved by. Everybody's saying hello to him now.
Let's press F for respect for Uncle Ethan.
Yeah. Let's see.
Capo Orso. They forget who brings kids to movies. SJWs don't last as fans and normally don't have children. Stupid business model. What do you guys think about that one? I think that's a very important point.
I've said this many times on my channel. I went to Star Wars Celebration last year. Had a pretty good time, considering I had a couple of hookups at Lucasfilm at the time. They hate my guts now, so no worries about that. But I had a pretty good time. And at no point during this 3 days I was there, sitting around talking with Star Wars fans from all over the world, people that were sleeping on concrete all night just to see 3 minutes of footage of a film that was coming out in another year and a half. At no point did I have a conversation with someone and they go, Jeremy, I'm really worried about diversity behind the camera. I'm really concerned about getting proper female representation. No, it never happened, because nobody gives a shit about this stuff. Star Wars fans don't care about this. Star Wars fans care about the story, care about the characters, care about how it's going to affect the mythology. You all got all these fruitcakes on the internet that want to talk about diversity behind the camera. Nobody gives a fuck what color you are. Direct the fucking movie, compliment the characters, make a good story. That's all we care about. And Lucasfilm just panders to this crowd that doesn't care about the product, and I'll never understand it. So anyway, that's my take on it. I'm sorry for all the F-bombs. So
you're on a channel with the word bullshit.
I know.
I would say that, my response to that diversity shit is that there isn't a single goddamn woman in all of the Disney Star Wars that is as strong as Leia was in 1977.
True.
Period.
True.
How phony is this argument?
It is. It's garbage fodder at college campuses. I went to college. Trust me, I've seen this shit firsthand. ST Fanboy says, I love hearing Doomcock's feelings on Star Wars. Also, his voice is soothing. Scary, but in a good kind of way.
Lullaby and good night. Go to sleep. Doomcock fan.
Hey, I was a little nervous, like when Jeff said, "Yeah, Doomcock's gonna be on." I'm like, "Fuck, he scares me, dude. I don't know if I'm ready for that." And then he came in.
I can't end the world at any point, so yeah.
He came into our hangout, and I was like, I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed at all.
Cesario Japan. Future guest ideas. UK YouTuber Larry Bundy Jr. / Fact Hunt. He seems to randomly pop up here and there on YouTube in the comments section of vids. But hello, you. Well, Cesario Japan. I'm hoping the JPN stands for Japan, like the toy company I buy stuff from. Yeah, Larry Bundy Jr. is in a lot of my toy videos, and that dude is welcome. He's just got to either respond or reach out or, something. But I can get anybody that you guys want. I will open the line of communication. Darth Catter, it's okay to be wrong, Jeremy. Goddamn. Carlton Bach says the only magic I've seen in this new trilogy is when Luke met R2-D2 in The Last Jedi. For a split second, we saw the old Luke. Then he was slammed away.
That's a good point. That was a great moment. Yeah. It really was.
Loki07 says, thank you for suggesting The Expanse. All hail Lord Doomcock.
Thank you, Loki. Yes, The Expanse is truly excellent. I hope you guys get a chance to look at it. It really is good.
Windfall says, did Disney's first failure lie in buying Star Wars for $4 billion?
Say that one more time. I didn't catch that.
Did Disney's first failure lie in buying Star Wars for $4 billion?
No, I think...
Well, what the fuck else were they going to do?
I think their first failure was hiring Kathleen Kennedy, honestly. But that was almost George. That was George. Like, that's why when it first was announced... you keep hearing the narrative, people just hate on everything. Like, I had no reason to doubt Kathleen Kennedy. I knew nothing about her. I saw her resume. I see George Lucas literally handing his baby to her. I hear her saying they're going to honor the characters and the legacies of these characters. I hear her saying that they're going to, make films for the fans and all this stuff. So I had no reason to doubt the woman. You know what I mean? No logical reason.
Yeah.
So I had faith in her, and it's just, I feel like, and maybe, look, there might be more to the story. It might be Bob Iger. There might be some problems with Iger and what he's doing, but he didn't force her to wear the Force female shirt. He didn't force her to say point blank. She point blank said they want Star Wars to look like the world that we live in with the diversity and all that. No, we don't. No, we don't. We just want Star Wars to look like fucking Star Wars, a galaxy far, far away. I don't need a damn Walmart and a Kroger in my damn Star Wars, okay? I don't need it to look like I don't need a gas station in Star Wars, okay? I need Star Wars to look like Star Wars. So these are things that she said and things that she's laid out. And Lucasfilm has fundamentally changed for the worse since she took over. So,
absolutely. And in terms of unrepresented minorities, look, I know that manatees are unrepresented in movies, but for fuck's sake, don't make Luke suck one off. All right? Let's just not have that. All right? You can integrate the manatees in the zoo portion of the show or put them in a bar or something, okay? The whole milk thing, Jesus.
Logan Michael wants to know, what has our world come to? Gurney...
Milk drinking Luke?
It came full circle, guys. Remember, Rian Johnson saw the first Star Wars like the week before he started working on this movie. So he's like, what about Luke Skywalker makes him Luke Skywalker? He drinks blue milk. That's a character trait. Put it in my movie. The fans will love it.
Bingo. Check.
Gurney Halleck says,
done.
Doomcock 2020. Only wusses vote for the lesser evil.
Thank you, sir. That's outstanding. I may put that on a fucking bumper sticker. That's awesome.
You should. I will buy that bumper sticker and the t-shirt. I love the mask. Darth Hoagie. Mark is drunk on the anti-Trump soy milk. In terms of Mark Hamill, I'm assuming. Laura makes Star Wars fun again story. Cock's out for Doomcock.
What was that?
It just says, from Laura makes Star Wars fun again story. That's the user's name.
She's Cock's great,
out,
by the way.
Cock's out for Doomcock.
Laura's great. She's awesome. So,
well, thank you, Laura. I appreciate that. I think.
Jared Ricewig says Lucasfilm wants the new films to be as different from the prequels as possible, yet they create fucking Kylo Ren, who is even whinier and more obnoxious than the young Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
Sulfaria wants to know what our thoughts are on Cad Bane from the Clone Wars show.
What's that now?
I haven't really watched it, so I'll defer to you guys.
What's this?
What are our thoughts on Cad Bane from the Clone Wars show?
I mean, are they asking if we would like to see a show from Cad Bane? Absolutely, 100%. Has anything been announced that I haven't heard? I don't know, but I've always said Cad Bane's amazing. So, but I haven't heard anything. No, there's nothing been announced. So,
yeah, I'm cool with Cad Bane. I remember the media blitz surrounding the character, and then it was really hard to find that action figure because they were able to use a couple commercials and a couple episodes to get people like out in stores looking for him. So, I remember when Cad Bane did debut, I thought he was cool. I don't own that action figure, but
got an awesome voice. Maybe Doomcock could voice him. You just have to dial it back a little bit. That'd be cool. I'd like
dial it back a little bit. How?
That's pretty close, actually. Got to add a little add to it, and you'll be good.
Okay. I am Darth. Look at me. I'm Darth. Crush your head. I'm crushing your head. I'm crushing your head.
Is that Kids in the Hall?
Yeah. I'm crushing your head. You juice head. You stupid juice head. Call me sexist, will you? I crush you.
Oh, Spidley says HBO Westworld is my favorite show right now. J.J. Abrams produced. Maybe he can unfuck Star Wars? ?
Oh.
Didn't J.J. Abrams produce 10 Cloverfield Lane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that movie. I don't care what anyone says. I enjoyed the shit out of it. The ending got me.
I've told you guys I like JJ. I think he's a weak beta male. I think he doesn't want to stand up to anybody when he's told what to do. But in terms of a producer and a filmmaker, I liked Super 8. I'm not a Star Trek fan. I mean, I watched The Next Generation growing up, and but I enjoyed his Trek. I like The Force Awakens. I like Mission Impossible 3. I like Lost. I liked a lot of the shows he's been involved in. So, but when it comes down to it, he turns into like, I'm going to do another Toy Story reference, but he's kind of like Rex. He's just like, I don't like confrontations. He just cowers at the first time that Kathleen Kennedy steps up with her strap on and just tells him, to tighten up or he's going to get it tonight. And he's just like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'll do whatever you say. Who cares if I made setups in The Force Awakens? Let's try Rian Johnson. Just ignore everything because who cares? So,
well, I hated Lost more than any living human being because anyone who hated Lost more, their head would have fucking exploded right off of their body. So I think I'm alive. So I think I have at the maximum hate for Lost. But I did like Mission Impossible 3. I thought that was fun. So I will give him that. But yeah, otherwise, no.
I can't wait for the next Mission Impossible. That and the next Halloween are the two movies I'm actually excited for this year. Ant-Man, I love the MCU, but I don't know. Infinity War blew me away, so I don't really care for a while. Star Wars Philosophy says Mark Hamill's 360 on his opinions is just obvious damage control. Unfortunately, this just works against him in the fandom.
I think it's sad. I think he's retracted on what he actually felt and meant. And it's really a violation of his personal integrity. They must have either threatened him or gave him a hell of a carrot to make him reverse course like that.
I didn't hear the question. That's why I didn't answer immediately. So
sorry.
No, it was my bad. So
all I said is Mark Hamill's 360 on his opinions is just obvious damage control. Unfortunately, this just works against him in the fandom.
Yeah, I think most people understand what's going on with Mark. I think that if you've watched enough of his stuff, and I've been critical of him a couple times over the past 6 months, but if you watch it, I mean, he's in a tough position. He's in a really tough position. Mark Hamill is not Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford is a legitimate movie star. Mark Hamill his livelihood is Star Wars, and he loves it, but he's caught in a tough situation. And so you look at what even George Lucas said, after The Force Awakens, it might have been before, after, I can't remember, but he basically called Disney white slavers. And then 2 weeks later or 2 days later, whatever it was, he comes out and retracts it. You know what I mean? Like, Mark's in a tough position. That's all I would say. You don't have to agree with what he says. I don't like a lot of the stuff he says on Twitter with his political opinions, but that's his right. You know what I mean? He's Luke mother effing Skywalker. That's the bottom line. So.
Yeah, I really feel for him. I feel very sorry for him, the situation he's in, because he's a brilliant actor. And actually, his performance as a Luke Skywalker-like person who isn't Luke in The Last Jedi was pretty goddamn amazing. I mean, he committed to it, even though he didn't believe in it and it was badly written. And he gave a very in-depth performance, in my opinion.
Oh, well, he reminds me of the Luke Skywalker from that episode of The Simpsons where he talks about sprint at night. Just not all there anymore.
Well, hey, and I get it. I know he's Joker. I know he's like the great Joker of the Batman animated stuff. But I'm not talking about that. That's like saying Freddie Prinze is Kanan. Congratulations, but that I'm saying like he can't. The majority of his career is built off being Luke, and when you look at a situation like Harrison Ford, it's not. He doesn't have the same career, so he has to operate under different set of rules. Like Harrison Ford straight up said, no, I'm not excited for the Han Solo movie. He straight up said it at Star Wars Celebration with George Lucas standing right there, and he didn't care because he doesn't care because he's Harrison Ford. So that's just that's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
Jerome Brunette says, do you think, sorry, first off, Greephole, I forgot this one. Edwin is part of EVS's Comic Gate with a voice like butter. Okay, I have to watch some of those EVS Comics Gate videos. Jerome Brunette says, do you think once Kathleen Kennedy's replacement is found, they could uncan the current Star and sequel trilogy and start a new? Sorry, when I saw ST, I thought Star Trek. Do you think they could uncan the current sequel trilogy and start anew?
I don't think. I mean, people have asked that left and right. The way I answered it, someone asked me this on Twitter, and I said, I don't think it's probable, but it's possible in an extreme circumstance to say, okay, if Episode 9 does $400 million worldwide, which is, I can't even comprehend that, but I couldn't comprehend that Solo would do 350 either. But if Episode 9 does like 400 or 500 million worldwide, I think that's about the only way that it could actually be on the discussion table for them to go, holy crap, we went from 2 billion to 500 million in 2 films. We've really messed up. So, but that's the most extreme circumstance where I think the discussion would be on the table. Outside of that, I don't think it's possible.
Doomcock?
Yeah, I think it's fucking dead unless they absolutely retract everything that they set up in this trilogy. You know, get rid of it wholesale and start over. Otherwise, really, they have tainted the original trilogy to such an extent that it just isn't going to recover. You know, how do you get this shit out of your mind unless we replace it with a better narrative? You know what I'm saying? Every time I look at Luke, I'm gonna think about that goddamn island and him running away and being a coward. It impacts the original trilogy in a way that is very destructive to the franchise.
Thank you. It took me 6 months to watch A New Hope after The Force Awakens because I knew what piss poor characters Han and Luke had become. I'm like, wow, I get to see 2 of the greatest film heroes of all time, and they became runaway dads or, you know, cowards.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
they've definitely screwed the pooch on the Star Wars brand going forward. That's why we keep talking about it. Not that, you know, they made one bad movie. They've damaged everything involved with Star Wars. Yeah. This isn't a Jar Jar Binks situation where Jar Jar Binks has no bearing on the originals, unless you talk about the Blu-ray edition at the very end of Return of the Jedi where they put in Wisa Free. But other than that, he's not involved. This damages everything, and it pisses me off. Let's see. The High Reclusiarch Grimaldus says, evening, guys. I'm a couple minutes behind on the stream. To be fair, politics didn't have a part to play in Star Wars until post-Rogue One on Twitter.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry. It's my internet, I think. So
it's High Reclusiarch Grimaldus says, evening, guys. I'm a couple minutes behind on the stream. To be fair, politics didn't have a part to play in Star Wars until post-Rogue One on Twitter.
I think it probably did, just to a really smaller extent. I mean, as someone that has been very outspoken about the political narrative within Star Wars recently, I mean, I noticed the obvious casting choices for The Force Awakens. I think we all did. You know what I mean? But I think a lot of us, myself included, and maybe not Jeff and Doomcock, but I know a lot of us were willing to say, you know what, I see what they're doing, but I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt here. You know what I mean? But the same thing with me. I said, like, I went to Star Wars Celebration last year. I was at the Battlefront panel, and there were 500, 600, 700 people in the panel. I don't know, there might have been more. And I'll never forget, they were standing on stage, and this girl stood up and said, "How many girl gamers do we have in the room tonight?" And I just, like, there was like 5 girls screamed, you know, and I was like, why would you ask that? You know what I mean? Like, that is such a politically driven identity politics question. And then, of course, we got the reveal for Iden from Battlefront 2. So I think it's been there. I just think that The Last Jedi is when the dam broke and everybody's like, all right, we gave you your chance. You've pissed us off. You know what I mean? You pissed us off. I think that's how I think it went. So I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts.
Do you want me to go, Jeff?
Oh, of course. Yeah, go ahead. You're the guest, man.
Well, you know, the problem is I don't think it was just in Star Wars. I think it's everywhere. I mean, it's in Star Trek Discovery. And in fact, I just reviewed this last season of Westworld, and it is lousy with social justice warrior shit. Every woman in that thing was a leader. You know, there was nothing but these women leaders leading these various factions around. Man in that thing was either evil, cowardly, or ineffectual. And that was the 3 choices you had. And it's so glaring. We get it from so many different angles that, you know, The Last Jedi was there for sure, but I think it's cumulative. I think it's like, it's hard now to not see it. I think that having it everywhere is awakened people and alerted them to what the hell is going on. And we just want to be entertained. We don't want to have to be preached at for our fucking entertainment. And it's very offensive and it's bullshit. All I want is good writing and good characters. I don't care what color they are. I don't care what sex they are. On The Expanse, it is the most diverse show on television, and they never talk about it because it don't give a shit. It's all about the writing and the characters. And that's the model moving forward, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I can say it any better than that. I think diversity in comics has brought a lot of this to light for people who may have not been aware of this situation through his battle with comic book companies like Marvel and I guess DC to a smaller degree. So you're right, though. It's permeated everything. Star Wars is, I think more people care about Star Wars than anything else, though. Yeah. And that's why the fight is the fight. It's not like, hey, let's just roll over and accept it. No, people are like, fuck that. Star Wars was great the way it was. And millions of people liked it beforehand. So.
And someone said in the comments earlier that I'm incorrect on the Clone Wars and the Lost episodes with the priests and the wills. Am I? I mean, I was very under the impression from other sources that was diving into the wills. So if I'm wrong on that, I would like to know. I'm doing research on it right now, but that's everything that I was led to believe. So whoever said that, it wasn't a super chat, but I just wanted to make a note of that.
Well, so that's fine. From my best knowledge, the Journal of the Wills or whatever was the original name for Star Wars. It was like something of Luke Skywalker, Journal of the Wills, Part 1, The Star Wars. It had like a really stupid name.
And people are saying you're not wrong. So if I'm all right, so I just wanted to note that because I never shy away from being wrong. I mean, I do like The Force Awakens, for crying out loud. So so I'm obviously wrong all the time. So
that's too, Yomi. Anthony Mata, vote Doomcock 2020.
Yes. If I don't win, I'm going to take over the world. So elect me.
Party Alm City says, is Entertainment Weekly implying the light side is good? Dark side for the win. Thank you, Party Alm City. Dima Janai says, Mark has to be corrected. Also, Jeremy, I know you and EVS like old school hip hop. Saw KRS-One on Sunday. Vid on my channel.
Nice. Nice. I do. I dig me some old school hip hop before it went into mumble rap and all this garbage that's going on now. So, but also when I applied for my right wing alt right bigot card, I could never mention that I liked rap. So I don't even know if I was supposed to say that. So if you guys hear a gunshot, goodbye. Anyway.
You know, Jeremy. That is cultural appropriation. So you're going to have your castle stormed soon.
Well, speaking of that, so the other night I did a video on my channel because I had one. I'm not even going to give the person the exposure here by saying their name, but a Star Wars podcast went after Geeks and Gamers went after one of the female content creators, and so we did a show with the Ivan and Anna and Jesse and some other people on my team, and Ivan decided to wear his Mexican poncho because he's Mexican, and so we started the show out. And I said, "What the hell are you wearing?" And he goes, "Oh, this is my white supremacist Mexican poncho," and then I said, "Oh, well, I have one that does not disrespect the culture," and I held up my Alabama football Mexican poncho, and I'm like, "This is not cultural appropriations at all." Like Roll Tide, and people freaked out about it because this whole cultural appropriations nonsense is off the charts. So look, we got some rap fans in the comments. The guys, stop talking about anything that's not like racist white music. You are destroying the narrative. So please stop. I'm kidding.
It's culturally inappropriate and insensitive.
I love how you said that. I've got to get you to record like an intro for Geeks and Gamers. It's like every time they're gonna hear your voice, it's gonna be something super sarcastic to the point. So
I'll borrow you too. We have a British.
Anytime.
Maybe we'll replace our hot British lady with Doomcock's voice. Rainier Angle says, "Good God, Doomcock's voice is amazing. It's one of two voices that should lead a cult. The other being Bob Ross."
I agree.
Logan Michael says,
I've thought about that. I've actually thought about that. I've thought about doing painting with Doomcock. And I've thought about like, hello, friends. I'm going to paint this happy little tree here now. There's a squirrel that lives in this tree. He's rabid and he's looking for Kathleen Kennedy. I hope he finds her. Maybe I'll paint her over here. Things like that.
People are loving your voice, dude. The next super chat comes from Logan Michael. Doomcock has a better voice than Morgan Freeman. So people are showing you a lot of love.
A better voice than God. That's awesome. That's awesome.
The Mr. Pete channel. Give me midi-chlorians over Mary Sue's any day. Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great Loner says, get rid of the story group and bring in Timothy Zahn and make the Thrawn/Vong trilogy. The Empire did nothing wrong.
Yes.
Mike Angerhauser, that's a cool name, says, Doomcock, where is Harvey Cthulhu?
Oh, you wanna talk to Harvey? I could pull the mic over. Hey, Harvey. Harvey. Come here. What do you want? They want to hear you.
Hello? Hello?
This is the High Council.
Oh, fuck. Hey, what's up, you guys? Harvey Cthulhu here. Rumors about me that I am cruel and I want to destroy your universe. I am not cruel, but I do want to destroy your universe. So, yeah. How y'all doing?
Better than Cecil. Hashtag new Cecil. Let's see. Dimagini says, Ruin made a monster piece. Nothing mastered about that shit show. Also, you should think about @MadTV Talk for the council. He's a good dude. Well, folks, you can always send your recommendations to worldclassbs@mail.com, thebestmail.com, just so we have a record of who said what when, so we don't forget your recommendations. All right, here comes a how would you do this from David Hervey. Thank you, David Hervey. If you could, how would you guys properly write explaining Rey's abilities? I thought she was just using the dark side of the Force since it came so easy.
I mean, I just always assumed she was going to be a Skywalker, and that was going to tie into it. I mean, that's and I just or a Kenobi to a lesser extent that I thought, but I just always thought it would tie into Luke Skywalker. Again, I go back to the moment with Maz's castle and her Luke's lightsaber is calling out to you, and and she has the Force theme and she sees the flashback to Luke and all this stuff, and God damn it, and then none of that mattered. So
I think that she should have been a Palpatine, and I think that her powers should be explained by the fact that she was trained and was perhaps put by Luke on that planet with her memory erased so that she would never be a threat. He couldn't bring himself to kill her. He defeated her and maybe put her over there, but she is a dark force user and she is trained and she's just acting instinctively without that memory. But of course, she's going to get that memory back at the end of the second movie and raise fully hell Luke again in the third one. That would have been a lot better.
You know, if I can freestyle for a moment off your idea about her being like a sleeper cell Sith, imagine like in, I don't know, the next one, something happens to her, she's shot in the hand and it's revealed to be, I don't know, like a mechanical hand. And then the audience is like, oh my God, okay. So that throughout the movie we learn, and they do kind of like that switch with, was it Darth Revan in Knights of the Old Republic, where you think he's actually the good guy, but he's the bad guy, that type of thing. You could pull a Twilight Zone level twist and maybe you could redeem her character somehow like that. Like do something balls to the wall to make us forget how shitty what came before was. What do you guys think of something crazy like that?
I just kind of feel like at this point with how Lucasfilm employees and creative have handled the situation, it's almost like once wrestling was when everybody found out it was entertainment, trying to actually make us think it was actually real again. You know what I mean? And it's like at this point, we know you didn't have a fucking plan. We just know it. It's obvious. It's so obvious that you didn't have a plan. And so anything that they do, I just feel like we all know this is all stuff. This is obviously Rey is not a real person. She's played by Daisy Ridley. We all know it's acting and all that stuff, but the authenticity of the story group and the creative direction of Star Wars and the lack of planning, nothing feels good about it. You know what I mean? So I'm almost to the point where I don't care if Luke or Rey wakes up on the island and we start all over again. I just feel like my enthusiasm for the sequel trilogy has been destroyed. So there's almost nothing they can do. Outside of, I made a video the other day and it's like, if they split it into 2 parts, at least at that point, you're acknowledging that you've effed up and you got to fix it. But they're never going to do that. You know what I mean? They're always going to run with it like, oh, this is all part of our plan the whole time. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about it. So
I agree with Jeremy 100%. I don't think there's a goddamn thing they can do with this current configuration to save the third movie. There's absolutely nothing. And look what they've done. They've turned, with this Rey and Kylo, having pajama parties and talking corn over long distance. They've turned this fucking thing into a young adult novel where, Rey is attracted to him, but he's so bad, but she thinks that she can change him.
Yeah, and I made a video a couple days ago, and I want to break down a couple points for you guys. So number one, I said the first thing they have to do is they have to separate episode 9 into 2 parts, because there's no way they can, in a 2.5-hour movie, there's no way they can fix everything that the Last Jedi broke and still properly end this story on a good note. Like, it would just be a disaster. You know what I mean? It would be a train wreck to try to fix things and tell your story. So I said, break it into 2 parts. That will acknowledge, hey guys, we effed up. So we're going to split this into 2 parts. We're going to correct course in the first half. We're going to bring Luke Skywalker back. I don't care how you bring him back. Use the world in between worlds from Rebels for all I care. Dave Filoni has introduced an element into Star Wars where you can do that. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. And I know a lot of people are 50-50 on how they feel about that. But bottom line is there's an element where you can actually go back in time and change things that have happened. It exists in canon now. Bring Luke back. Not like as a Force ghost. Bring him back. Get him off the island. Literally, and I'm kind of joking, but literally have Rey bend down and place his balls back on his body since you ripped them off. And give him his lightsaber and let him go whoop some ass. Those are that's the first thing you got to do. And if they did that, at least I'd feel a little bit better about it. I felt I would have a better chance of winning the lottery than this happening, but just for discussion purposes, I introduced these theories. What would you guys think about that on the surface? I know that was a lot, so
no, I mean, I see what you mean, but I can't really, I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't buy into it in my heart. I've still seen that shit. I mean, I think they basically need to redo the entire thing. Just fucking, okay, this is a remake of the trilogy. Okay, just start with The Force Awakens, only fix all that shit, make it recycled ideas from the original trilogy, and let's have a really good Star Wars fucking movie. That's basically it. I can't work in this framework for me.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at with it too. So go ahead, Jeff.
Well, all I was going to say is I may have, threw out an idea here or there, but I honestly think all hope is lost in terms of where we've been. And if they're doubling down this much, man, them changing anything like that would admit that their ideas were bad or we were right. And they won't allow that. So look, episode 9 is going to be a shit show. Make sure you guys always keep the attitude you have towards the movie. Like 18 months, the next 18 months are basically how we could win the war against Star Wars. If you want to prove that you don't like this kind of shit infused in your entertainment, you want to be treated with respect by the people who own the property, you just make sure that episode 9 is a failure, and that will send out waves among every other part of any kind of fandom. Marvel, DC, Marvel Comics branding themselves. We hold the power. Let's not fuck this up.
Yeah, I made that point in my Canon video where I said that the power to win this war is in our grasp. All we fucking have to do is stay home. Period. Just don't go to their fucking movie. Don't buy their shit. Speak out against it from your home, and they're gonna go down. Look at what we did with Solo. And we can hurt them even worse with episode 9 and make our displeasure felt keenly. Look at what happened. They started scrambling. They started planting these stories about, they've canceled all the standalone movies, and then they retracted it. Happened if everything was hunky-dory. So the fact that they're squirming means that we are winning. We are winning this thing, contrary to what you've heard, or that they're not acknowledging it. We are winning, and all we have to do is stay the fuck home and speak out relentlessly, and that will bring them to their knees.
And if you notice, the whole Kelly Marie Tran situation fell apart quickly. As quick as it popped up, it fell apart. I mean, that was a 24-hour news cycle talking point for like a second. We've overcome that, guys. Don't fall for the next one too. Just don't worry about people like Chuck Wendig. Don't worry about them. Focus on the movie. Those dollars are more important than those people's voices. Really good, Chef. Thoughts on Netflix putting out a comic book? Have you guys heard about this?
I have not.
No.
I'll put it like this, though. If that is true, I mean, obviously it's true. Why would you make that story up? Plus, Really Good Chef's been around a long time. My point is, I don't really like Netflix right now. The other day I was out trying to buy a chair, and for a minute I sat down, I looked at my phone, and all this weird stuff popped up on Netflix's Facebook page, and it was just a bunch of hateful people posting shit like, oh, if you hate it and you cancel it, like, nobody gives a shit about you. Just the stuff that Netflix puts out, political ideologies aside, I don't like their content right now. That's, I'm just not going to really be interested in a comic book from Netflix.
I'm not going to pay attention to any comics. I mean, I like Netflix. I obviously, look, I mean, in this day and age, I don't try to hold people accountable for the politics. I'm not sure I could support anybody at that point if that was how I operated. But Netflix, yeah, I like their content. I like their Marvel content. I thought The Punisher was fantastic. I think Daredevil's fantastic. Stranger Things is great. I like a lot of their original series. Their movies I don't watch. So I'm pretty happy with Netflix overall, but I don't have any interest in a comic from them at this point.
Well, when they deleted a lot of their back catalog is when I lost interest. Even if the original content's not for me or I'm not interested in it that much, I like the back catalog. That's why I subscribed to Netflix like 8 years ago, because it had like the Spider-Man cartoons that weren't on DVD, just random obscure stuff. I sat through Family Ties, a show I wasn't even alive for, because it was on Netflix. So, I mean, they don't really have that anymore for me.
Yeah, I think that's terrible. I mean, that's why I got on Netflix. They had so many like old cool like shows and weird shit that you could find, and they've really gotten more homogenized and less imaginative in their programming. That's what I think. I mean, I still enjoy they've gotten like a deal with the Netherlands. Denmark or stuff to import like these weird, ice noir things with, killers and crime and shit. And they're really pretty uniformly good. So I enjoy those, but in general, they have definitely fallen off over the past couple of years.
I see a lot of people commenting about Altered Carbon. People keep telling me to watch that, and I'm interested in watching it. I haven't seen it, but a lot of people have spoke highly of that. It's got what's his name, Joel Kinnaman, who was in like RoboCop and Suicide Squad.
Oh, that guy.
I like him. He's a decent actor, but I haven't seen Altered Carbon, but a lot of people talk highly about it. So,
well, for me with Netflix, the one that really pissed me off and set me off was, you guys ever seen Black Mirror?
Yes.
Black Mirror started incredibly strong. I was really engaged by that show. And then you got the ones that Netflix produced themselves, and I thought the episodes were absolute trash. What is it, the third season or whatever, the fourth season? I don't know exactly what number it is, but I thought those episodes were all weak.
Is that the one with is that the one where it started out like a Star Trek almost type thing?
Yep.
Okay. I only watched the first episode of that season. I did enjoy that first episode, but I don't know why I never followed up, and I don't know why.
Because you didn't watch the beginning where the Prime Minister of England had to fuck a pig on air to stop a terrorist attack.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, see, if you watch the first ones that were made in the UK and the Christmas special, I don't know if the Christmas specials Netflix, but the one with John Hamm was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
But overall, that new season that was produced by Netflix is really weird. You can say there's an SJW influence to it if you want to. For me, I just thought the characters, it wasn't as righteous as it should be. Like, you know how in the Twilight Zone certain characters get their comeuppance? I felt like a lot of people just got away with shit in this one because of reasons, and I thought it was weak writing. We talk about writing and characters. Black Mirror season 3 or 2 or whatever it is just fucked that all up.
By the way, shout out to everybody watching. We have 1,800 people watching. We have 600 likes. We really appreciate that. You guys know we always appreciate the support, so that's incredible to see. So thank you so much.
Yeah, Tuesday night is the hangout for everyone who's a fan of all entertainment. The High Council is for everybody, and I think they've shown with their viewership that they're here for us, Jeremy. So we got to keep this rolling indefinitely.
No, we're here. We're here. We're not going anywhere, and you guys make the week worth living. Because if we didn't have this to look forward to, we would have Star Wars news to look forward to, and it's not good.
Tuesday's my favorite night of the week. Not Friday, Tuesday.
Definitely. So, and look, and as all of our channels grow, there's going to be opportunities for us to expand and do different things. And so, just keep supporting, keep sharing. Keep liking, and we're here as long as you guys want us here.
Yeah, quick shout out to everyone who watches Good Morning Pop Culture here on World Class Bullshitters at 7:45 in the morning. We got some people from Texas that get up and say, "Hey, it's 4:45. I'm up to listen to your show." So I just want to tell all those people thanks. And if you haven't checked it out on your way to work, check us out, 7:45 Eastern Standard Time. And Doomcock, what's the actual name of your channel so people know how to find you? Just right.
Yes. The actual name is Overlord DVD. So it's youtube.com/Overlord DVD. And I really would appreciate any of you guys who want to come over and check out what I do and subscribe and like. I really would appreciate that.
Well, yeah, everyone that's watching, give Doomcock a subscribe and then watch all of his videos because they really are that good. You guys hear me talk about retro blasting all the time and how much I love that content. Doomcock, his work is up there too. It's just really good stuff, especially your one about canon. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a bad word to say about any of your videos. I'm always entertained. Now, were you on with the Midnight's Edge guys before?
I have done stuff with them. They're, really nice guys. They reached out to me, and early on they sent me a lot of subscriptions, and they're a good bunch of guys.
I really liked their Ghostbusters coverage as well as their Sony email leak coverage. I thought they were like the place to go when you're talking about that story. No one else had anything even close to that. So if you guys are
they've had some really good sources on Ghostbusters and really good analysis. I mean, they beat the living hell out of that damn thing. I don't think it was like a smoking ruin by the time they were done with it, and it deserved it. It richly fucking deserved it, because it was really like the ground zero of this kind of social justice warrior movement to smear your audience and intimidate them into not criticizing your piece of shit movie because of all the women or all the minorities or all the fill in the blank. You know, they really love this idea that all we got to do is pack it with social concerns, and then we don't have to worry about how good it is. You know, everyone will be afraid or intimidated out of like saying anything about it, and we can get bothering about the quality of our product. We'll just slop that swill in their trough, and the little piggies will gobble it up.
Yeah, and look at what happened with the Ocean's 8 thing too. They tried to repeat that Ghostbusters marketing, not necessarily the same way, but look at, did you guys see the interview on, was it the Today Show with Hoda Cobb and all the cast from Ocean's 8?
I did not see that.
It was more of the same crap. So these people refuse to learn.
Well, and then, you know, where's our buddy? I mean, actually, I won't say our buddy. I'll say Jeff's buddy. Jeff's buddy, Scott Mendelson. Where's he at? Where's he at with his, well, the straight white male is box office poison? Where was he at after Jurassic World opened? You know, like where he at now? You know,
it's like they're proven wrong and they have to run away because they don't want people to remember what they said.
I never understood that, man. Like I said this on my channel when I was talking about Solo, when the $170 million tracking came out, and I was just like, I don't believe this at all. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way this movie is going to make $170 million. And I said, maybe I think it's going to be around 120, which I was even wrong then. But I said, if I'm wrong and this thing does $175 million, I won't make excuses. I won't run from the fact that I made the prediction. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something very rare. I'm going to get on this channel and say, I was wrong. You know, like there's this, they don't want to own anything they say. They just throw bombs. They throw haymakers. And then when they're proven wrong, they ignore it and they move on to the next stupid story that they can throw out there. And it's crazy.
Well, I made some kind of thing today. I said, if I'm wrong about something, I'll eat Jeremy's hat on camera. So if somebody reminds me of what I said, when whatever happens comes true, if I have to, I'm going to eat your hat on camera. So I'm going to have to take your hat from you.
Well, I've got a backup Star Wars hat that's brand new, just like that one. And that one is in probably its final year of existence, because I wear hats. Like, I wear them into the ground, so it's going to be a pretty filthy, disgusting hat that you get a hold of. So
I'll put some JR's barbecue sauce on there, and I owe it to the people. I'm a man of my word.
Well, very soon I am going to be, because I've said, you know I claim that I like The Force Awakens, all that stuff, and I do, but I can't watch it anymore. Like, I haven't watched it since I saw The Last Jedi, and I have no desire to watch it. So I'm going to be destroying my Blu-rays and DVDs on camera with my golf club. I'm going to shatter them. That's going to be happening soon. The only reason I haven't done it yet is because I don't want to do it in my backyard, because I have dogs, and my dogs will eat the fucking Blu-ray because they're going to shatter in 1,000 pieces. You know what I mean? So I just can't do this anywhere where my dogs are going to be remotely close. So I'm trying to find a secluded place I can do it and not have to worry about picking up every little piece. But yeah, I'm going to get the golf clubs out, and we're going to set them up individually. I think I have 2 copies of Blu-ray and 2 DVDs, and we're going to be shattering the Force Awakens on camera. It's going to be awesome. So,
I'm going to watch that.
Outstanding, sir. I applaud you. Golf clap.
Logan Michael says the 2000s were the best time for Star Wars. Merchandise was good. We had the Clone Wars series, and we didn't have any shitty Star Wars movies. What are your guys' thoughts on that statement from Logan Michael? Thank you, by the way, Logan Michael.
I'll let you have that one, Doomcock, because I was just yapping.
Well, actually, it kind of cut out. Could you read it again for me?
Sorry, it says the 2000s was the best time for Star Wars. The merchandise was good. We had the Clone Wars series, and we didn't have any shitty Star Wars movies.
That's interesting. Oh, I mean, could you say that was the golden age of Star Wars instead of like the 80s? The late. I mean, Star Wars mania was at its height. I don't know. That's a very interesting question. It was certainly a lot better than what we've got now. I mean, we are in the fucking dark ages of Star Wars. I don't even know what it means to be Star Wars anymore. That's how far the franchise has fallen. I barely recognize it itself. And when I think about more Star Wars movies coming, I have no enthusiasm whatsoever.
Nope.
I mean, it's hard to believe, but there's not a goddamn thing they can do at this point to get me excited, except get rid of Kathleen Kennedy and get some real creative people in there. I don't know what would get me back enthused and in the theater anymore. So yeah, comparatively it was a golden age, and you know, we had alcohol streams going down the mountain, and you know, free transport and clean air, and you know, a cigar and every chicken. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great time. I mean, there was a lot of good video games at that time too. Wasn't that like around the GameCube era? You know,
Yeah.
It had like Rogue Squadron and Rogue Leader.
Yeah.
And those were great. Jedi, was it Jedi Knight? You know, for the Xbox. That was like the Xbox, PlayStation, or was it PS2 era, something like that. And so that was a really good time. And
the Kyle Katarn game. What was that one? I forget the name.
Jedi Knight Academy or something. Jedi Outcast, something like that. It was Jedi Outcast.
Yeah, Jedi Outcast. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, and there was a lot, and it really comes down to one thing: it all on whether you liked everything that came out or you didn't. You know, just even going back to the prequels, if you didn't like everything, it still didn't fundamentally break Star Wars, and it wasn't politically or socially driven. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, Star Wars has always been about politics." We're not talking about the politics of Star Wars. We're talking about just creating agendas and narratives from your real world politics to push it into Star Wars, into a pre-existing franchise, and trying to make that a social justice soapbox. That's the problem, and that's the worst part of it for me. That's the worst part of it for me. So
yeah, I mean, what was Star Wars? It was basically a fairy tale for adults. It was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So what are we doing insulting, you know, robot fuckers like Lando into Solo?
Exactly.
You know, I mean,
exactly.
Pansexual toaster fuckers. What does that have to do with adult fairy tale that's family and an escape from this world? I don't get it.
I don't either. I would say to Logan Michael, the 90s was a better era because it was pre-prequels. You had Star Wars video games that were great. You had the first Rogue Squadron. You had all the PC games. You had the books coming out, so that reinvigorated the fandom. Yeah, it wasn't the hype that was 77 through 84, because we'll give Return of the Jedi benefit of the doubt. But 2000, I'd say the 2000 was the early 2000s were the last good time to be a Star Wars fan.
I still feel, and again, I say this as someone that does like the movie, but even I think the hype leading into The Force Awakens was pretty cool. Now, a lot of people after the fact didn't like it, and you know, but I felt like the lead in and the hope and the optimism was there, generally speaking. The one thing that derailed from that could have really maximized that was Battlefront 2015. Now, a game I like, but people didn't like. You know what I mean? And so that really derailed a lot of things. But I mean, you remember the first Force Friday with all of the Force Awakens characters. It was a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of hype, and they were selling like hotcakes.
I went to the store.
Yeah, and so there was a lot of maybe it was short-lived, you know what I mean? Maybe it was just going to a strip club and you realize that chick didn't want you, but you know, when you gave her money, it felt like she wanted you for a minute. But in reality, there was no substance to the situation. That's about it, you know. So
Kevthar1138 just sent $20 in, so thank you very much, Kevthar1138. That's very generous. Daniel Keene says 43 out of 71 reviews on Netflix are negative for The Last Jedi. That's kind of interesting. I say it's Russian bots. What do you guys say?
I'm not at liberty to say based on the agreement I made. So
when you went for your alt-right card.
Right. Well, look, guys. I've received quite a few emails and text messages. I forgot that we were on the worldwide internet and almost 2,000 people watching. So I've opened my mouth too much. So I'm just going to move on from that.
Ira Clusiar Grimaldi says Disney Lucasfilm waved Lucas's head around like a conquered king with that article, brandishing his head as if to say, "You're our subjects now."
That's what they believe. That's what they believe. Mitchell Hughes says the prequels are amazing. Thank you, Mitchell. I just wanted to give you a shout out for that one. So,
yeah, they were a hell of a lot better than what we've got now. I mean, in retrospect, you can tell at least there's some stories and some characters. I really don't think structurally that there's that much wrong with the prequel. Purely the execution. I think
100%.
a little bit of rebalancing. Lucas has a good sense of story value. He just needed a better dialogue writer. He needed somebody that could work with actors. You know, I don't think Lucas is a very emotional guy and relates well to actors, and I think that was a big problem with it. But structurally, he did an amazing thing. He basically wanted to tell a very subversive tale of how democracies fall to totalitarian regimes when the people are complacent. Now, that's a hell of a load for basically what he viewed as a kiddie movie, and I think it was laudable. I really salute George Lucas and his efforts. He was an artist to the end. We may not agree with his choices, and he may have gotten past his prime a bit in his execution, but there's worth in those movies. I'll admit it.
No, and I think George Lucas is the greatest story man, period. Like, I mean, now he can't direct for shit in some situations. You know, he's not an actor's director. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the story elements of the prequels are phenomenal. The execution is a problem. And that kind of brings up the point of, like, this shows Lucasfilm's arrogance in Kathleen Kennedy, and if you want to bring it up to Bob Iger and all that too, they had George Lucas's story treatments for the sequel trilogy, and they threw it out. Like, you could have brought in, like, regardless of how you feel about JJ creatively, the man can direct, and you had George Lucas's story. And JJ's a competent enough director for actors, at least. You know what I mean? And if you would have given him George's story, or even not even JJ, bring anybody not named Rian Johnson in to direct George's story. That's a perfect scenario, perfect storm. And they threw it out because they were arrogant.
Well, that's why I think the first Star Wars movie worked so well, because people like Harrison Ford said, you can type this shit, but you can't say it. And pay attention to the organic feel of the dialogue in that first one, as well as the second one, and to a degree the third one as well. Like when they're in the detention block, like, what the hell are you doing? And all that stuff. That just feels like shit people would say. When it came to the prequels, it's like they sucked out emotion. And they kept that part of the prequels for the sequel trilogy. Everyone feels like they're on stage trying to perform, and it doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel like we're actually in that world. It's weird, though. They want to change everything from the prequels, but they bring the parts that don't work, and they leave the parts that did.
Well, they have the memory of fucking flies. That's why. The prequels are the last thing they saw of Star Wars, and so, hey, that's what they know. I mean, god damn it. Go and watch the original fucking trilogy and then take a crack at it, you fucking assholes.
I agree 100%, Doomcock. That's why you're here, my friend, because you get it. Let's see. Sulfaria says, how can fan theories beat a board of pro writers?
I mean, because the fans don't have political agendas in mind. They have the continuity of the universe and what made it what it is in mind, and it's really as simple as that.
Yeah. Logan Michael says Kathleen Kennedy is a CUNT, spaced out just like that. The best screen name of the night, Dave Bob, just gave it out. Bob. Jimmy B says Kathleen Kennedy strapped herself to an A-wing or an X-wing and crashed. Nicholas Glenn says skip the funeral tonight to hear Doomcock on the High Council. Doomcock, what do you have to say about that?
Wow, you skipped a funeral tonight? Is that what he said?
Yeah, he skipped the funeral tonight to hear Doomcock on the High Council.
I am flattered, sir. I thank you for that. And when I take over the world, I'm going to give you a city. All right? You hold me. You come back and you say, hey, Doomcock, you remember that guy that skipped his funeral? That was me. And I'll say, God damn it, take San Antonio.
Can I have Otisburg? That's a Superman joke for anyone. Absolutely. See, that's the one time Cecil would laugh. David Hervey says, hope you guys get Abu Nas on the High Council. He's hilarious, and he was the one who put me onto Doomcock, and I have not been disappointed. All hail Doomcock.
Abu Nas is cool. I like Abu. Sorry.
Abu is a really great guy. You know, I watched his last video, and I got to say that I had the feeling like I was sitting in a room listening to a good friend. You know, it was just, he has a style and a personality that came through the TV, and just, it was like I was sitting there having a drink with a pal. And that's a great feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I love Abu Nas. He's great. So
Well, then we will reach out to him for the High Council. Jurassic Park Man gave
Absolutely.
$1. Thank you very much, Jurassic Park Man 1991. Ruin Roundhead Kick says, is Doomcock willing to be the villain in episode 9? How will he compete with Rey? What kind of lightsaber and force powers would he use? Doomcock, this is all you.
I would say, you crazy bitch, and shoot her with a cannon. That's basically all I need to do. I don't believe in her force. She's just a Mary Sue. You know, she doesn't really have any skill. So I'd trick her. I'd say, hey, look over there. And she'd look over there, and boom, done.
Cannon. Clinging Mars says, where is Harvey Doomcock?
Where's Harvey? Well, he was just here a minute ago. What was his name?
That says Clinging Mars.
Kling Mars?
Yeah, Clinging Mars.
Hello, Cling to Mars. I am here, and I really appreciate the shout out. I wish that I had a YouTube channel, but I'm just like stuck on Doomcock's fucking channel till I escape and destroy you all. So thank you. I really appreciate it.
Solid Stuff says, I made a video outlining the rough shell of a solo script that accounts for character growth. I hope you guys can check it out and drop an opinion. So folks, check out Solid Stuff's channel and watch the video and tell them what you think. And I'll try to do the same thing in the morning after I do Good Morning Pop Culture. R. Kelly, Jeremy, Chris Pratt for Dash Rendar.
I'm down. Somebody asked me about him being Kyle Katarn earlier. I'll take Chris Pratt in any role. I love Chris Pratt. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. He made Jurassic World watchable for me. I wanted him for the young Han Solo. I know that was kind of popular. Like everybody was asking for that prior to them passing up on Anthony and Gruber. And then they re-looked at him, I guess. But yeah, I mean, Chris Pratt can do anything. He's great. I love Chris Pratt. He's one of the he's just one of the most likable actors in my opinion. Like he's just likable. Go ahead, Doomcock.
Go what you said 100%. I hate everything that I see. But that said, on that scale, I loved dearly Guardians of the fucking Galaxy. God damn it. That was the most fun I've had in theater in memory. I thought it was perfect. I thought it was a great combination of genuine feeling and great comedy. And Chris Pratt kicked ass in that goddamn movie. And, you know, I hope that, you know, we're going to get the Guardians of the Galaxy back together. That was bullshit. I'm really annoyed at the whole thing. I really am. No, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, and I've said many times. I mean, for me, Guardians of the Galaxy is the current. It's this generation Star Wars. It really is.
Yes.
You have Groot. You have Drax. You know, you have Rocket. The chemistry is off the charts. It doesn't quite have that special nature that the original trilogy had. It does have that special touch and feel, but it's just not quite to that level of this original trilogy. But I don't think anything can quite get there. But if anything can get close, it's Guardians. And I love Guardians 2. I know some people had problems with Guardians 2. I got more emotion in a whatever you want to claim, and I guess do I have to say spoilers, but spoilers for Guardians 2. I got more emotion when Yondu with his funeral than I got out of like almost any other death in any superhero movie. And Yondu's not even a central character, you know what I mean? I just think Guardians is fantastic.
Jeremy, we finally
too.
agreed on something.
All right.
Yeah,
fuck it. All right. Well, I'm done here then. That's nothing else we can do. So, no, go.
You're going to be like George Costanza. And I'm out.
Yeah, I have Guardians is still, I mean, I have to see Infinity War a couple more times with me, but I have Guardians as the first one is my favorite MCU movie, and I have Guardians 2 is third. Infinity War is right there as second. I loved Infinity War 2, but
I absolutely agree that Guardians of the Galaxy is my absolute favorite. I'd probably say Iron Man is my second favorite, and Guardians 2 is my third favorite. And that includes superhero movies in general. I'd put Deadpool is up there. It's probably my second favorite superhero movie after Guardians.
Now, I have the Dark Knight, and nothing's touching the Dark Knight for me.
Mm.
So, do you not like the Dark Knight?
No, I do actually. I like, oh shit. Yeah, you're right. So I don't know.
Yeah, the Dark Knight to me, and Jeff, this is where Jeff, it was a short-lived agreement, because now we're going to go back to disagreeing a little bit. I know you don't hate the Dark Knight, but you don't love it as much as I do. But
oh no,
yeah, I love the Dark Knight. Like I think the Dark Knight it's a transcendent film. It's on the level of The Empire Strikes Back. It's that great. Heath Ledger's Joker is that great. He's the greatest villain in movie history. So that's where I stand.
That's Spider-Man 2 for me in terms of superhero movies. Spider-Man 2 is my be-all, end-all. I'm waiting for it to be topped. I like the MCU films, but Spider-Man 2, I'm just like, holy shit, that's the character. If that's the only Spider-Man movie you watch, awesome. You've got it.
Yeah, I think that Spider-Man 2 had the best superhero fight I've ever seen. That's my opinion. I thought that was the shit.
No hate for Spider-Man 2. I still put Spider-Man 2 like right there in the upper echelon of all-time great superhero movies. It's incredibly, like, I feel like we've kind of moved, like, I feel like a lot of people have forgotten how great that movie was. It's so great. Like, it is unbelievably great. So
it really is. And the
closest I've ever seen to a genuine Lee Kirby superhero fight, really.
Yeah, the things that people criticize the film for are stupid. It's like, oh, he has organic web shooters instead of regular ones. Okay, I get that. But then you justify Spider-Man having a suit with AI in it because he can talk to the suit like he would talk to himself in the word balloons. Like, that stuff is just dumb. I hate those kind of... It just goes to show you, like, oh, you really don't read the books or get the characters. But that's a topic for another day for me. I'm sorry. I don't need to go off on that tangent tonight.
No, but I just do want to mention the train scene in Spider-Man 2 and how he passed out and they passed him back over the train after he saved everyone. That was incredible, man. Incredibly emotional scene. And just how they respected him and respected his privacy. Like, I love that scene. So
thank God that movie didn't come out in an era where everyone has a camera phone, because that would be like, why did they take a picture?
Yeah, I bet they wouldn't have taken the picture. I mean, that was a scene that renewed your faith in humanity. Unfortunately, it was fiction.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
So my faith in humanity is still in the shitter.
Right, and to another extent, that's kind of like reminiscent of the Dark Knight scene with the fairies, and when Zeus, threw the I call him Zeus from wrestling days,
or Devo, if you will.
Yeah, or Devo. When Devo / Zeus got up and threw the the thing out the window, and I was like, you know what, that's humanity right there, because the whole time we're thinking this guy's gonna, they're gonna whoop some ass, so yeah. Great. Unfortunately, we're well beyond shit like that in today's movies. So.
Yeah, the weird thing is, it was just a few short years ago. A decade's not that long. I'm not even 30 yet. A decade's not a big deal to me. It's like, oh yeah, 10 years. What the shit? I remember my life between this and that point. So
yeah,
I don't know why we can't get back to that. But I digress. Killer Carl Krupp says, what do you think of movies based off video games? Season 2 of Westworld was bad.
Movies based off of video games.
Yeah, I agree that season 2 of Westworld was bad, and in general I stay away from movies based on video games because there's no chance. To quote Dean Wormer in Animal House, the chances that movie arises from the inspiration of a creative person is 0.0. There is no chance that there is any inspiration. It's purely marketing-driven filmmaking, and the odds of it being any good are 0.
Well, now Westworld 2 was season 2 is bad. I've seen the first episode, and that's all I've seen. And not because I didn't want, like, I was kind of confused after that first episode. I didn't know what the hell happened. I enjoyed season 1, but so season 2 was not good.
No.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, it was terrible. I've got a review of the whole season up if you want to save yourself some pain. I point out some of the ridiculous plot holes and the SJW shit in it. And, man, I do not recommend it.
Okay. As far as I'll give a shout out to Rampage, because I loved Rampage. Have you seen that yet, Jeff? You're a Rock guy.
I am a Rock fan, but as the wrestler, #1 Rock fan. As an actor, Dwayne Johnson movies just don't do it for me.
Okay. Did you see Rampage?
Nope.
Rampage. I went into Rampage expecting trash, absolute awful trash. And I got kind of trash, but it was fun, but what are you going to get out of a Rampage movie? You know what I mean? It was dumb fun. It was The Rock being The Rock, and it had a lot of monsters in it, and there was a lot of action, and it was fun. I liked it. So, and I like I'm probably, this may I might get kicked off the High Council for this, but I like the Jean-Claude Van Damme Street Fighter movie. So.
Don't worry, I like Mortal Kombat so much that I've probably seen that movie 30 times. I really like the first Mortal Kombat movie.
Hey, I like the second one, okay? And that one's where it really, I think we lost like 700 subs one time when I said that on a live stream. They're like, fuck this guy. But yeah, are there any objectively good video game movies? Not to my knowledge. But there are ones that I enjoy. So
yeah, I actually did enjoy the fucking Resident Evil series, with Lilu jumping around, and she was pretty hot. That's pretty good.
Yeah, well, she's married to the director, so it makes sense why some of that worked out.
And I did enjoy Warcraft, even though I don't know much about Warcraft and the lore. It wasn't good, but I enjoyed it. So,
yeah.
Let's see. Kappa Orso says, "Does Harvey Cthulhu like soy? Doomcock, you'd know."
You mean Soylo?
Yeah, it was just soy.
Does he like soy? Shit, I don't think he's ever had soy. He doesn't really eat earth food like we do. So
keep him soy free.
He eats, he's soy free. He's more interested in eating the tears of disappointed fanboys and dreams and hopes. And he's going to destroy us all someday. He's a nice guy.
OJ Martinez, thank you very much for your generous super chat. Before Ryan Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy came along, millions of fans worldwide already love Star Wars, black, white, gay, trans, Asian, what have you. There was no need to introduce diversity. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that was in caps.
Yeah,
you're right.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, OJ Martinez, we agree 100% with you. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it was already a very inclusionary fan base. No one ever pushed people out. So
nobody.
Maybe unless you were in the 501st or tried to get in and your costume wasn't up to snuff. Other than that, you were welcome. Steve Johnson says, thoughts on D&D trilogy being set in the KOTOR timeline? I'm genuinely excited for what they come up with.
Yeah,
Hello?
sure. I think it might be fun. Yeah.
That's going to get a lot of people back on board. Mexi Man and Cheese says, Lucas is not a dumb guy, but he could be low-key salty over how he was treated for the prequels. Maybe handpicking Kathleen Kennedy was his middle finger to the fans.
I think his middle finger to the fans, and I genuinely believe this, I think his middle finger to the fans was all those damn Jar Jar episodes during the Clone Wars. Like, every time it would get going good, we get a fucking Jar Jar episode or two, and it's the most boring shit ever, and they made him a representative. So we had to hear the term Representative Binks be said with a straight face from amazing characters. Like, Representative Binks, what do you think? We're like, what the hell is this? What? Like, this series is amazing. And we have to hear lines like, Representative Binks, what do you think? So I truly believe that when George like, F these mother effers, okay? Give him a Jar Jar episode, Dave. And Dave's like, really, George? Really? You want me to make him a representative? Like, it's so cringeworthy. So,
oh my God. Yeah. I think that's true, but he did back off. I mean, that's the difference between Lucas and Kennedy in the new regime, is when he got wind that everybody really despised Jar Jar, he largely backed away from Jar Jar in the, prequel trilogy, at least. Mm-hmm. I mean, he may have put some poison pills in the, the cartoons when he was bitter and angry, but, he responded. He wanted to not circumvent our expectations. He actually more or less wanted to make it good. He just didn't quite know how.
Very true. I agree with that one. Let's see. Mexi Man and Cheese says, oh, never mind. Sorry. Mark's Main. The only reason Westworld is good is because Michael Crichton and Jonathan Nolan have done most of the writing for the series.
I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed the first season. So, Doomcock, did you like the first season?
Yeah, the first season was pretty good. Really quite good. So I had high hopes for the second one, and boy, oh boy, those hopes were dashed.
Wow.
Isn't Michael Crichton dead? Like he's
I
been
don't know.
dead for a while. I think
so.
he wrote the book, which was based. If the movie came out in the '70s, was based off. I think Michael Crichton's like long dead.
Yeah, to my knowledge, Jonathan Nolan and J.J. Abrams are the ones involved with Westworld. More so, Jonathan Nolan. I think when people say J.J. Abrams is involved, it's always because Bad Robot's involved, and so they just put his name on it for marketing. It's almost like Spielberg. Like Spielberg will put his name on anything that he can say I'm producer of. You know what I mean? He's not actually doing anything. So I think it's more or less Jonathan Nolan involved. So,
Captain. Go ahead, Doomcock. Sorry.
Right, and he just really dropped the ball. It was terrible. And I urge everyone who hasn't seen the original Westworld movie from the '70s, go check it out because Yul Brynner kicked ass in that movie. He was the original Terminator. I'm telling you.
I like that movie, and I think Future World was the sequel.
Yeah,
I like the ending. I won't spoil it for anybody, but I thought the ending was pretty cool. Captain Liberator, more ideas on episode 9. Captain Phasma shows up out of nowhere, decapitates Kylo, and declares the galaxy is now her bitch. Any questions? Dr. Otto von Doofus, why suppress the extended universe? Because you can milk it later.
Well, there was a way they could have done the EU, and they've completely there's so many things they've messed up. Even go back to the previous question with Captain Phasma. Like at this point, they've missed a window on Captain Phasma. Like we all felt like it would be cool, whatever Captain Phasma. I remember the first images of Captain Phasma, you know, in the Entertainment Weekly or whatever. I'm like, oh
They
man,
made you turgid.
huh?
They made you turgid, aka they gave you a boner.
Yeah. And so we're all excited, and then she literally does nothing. And then the next movie, she does nothing. And then they cut out the scene that was cool. And at this point, you can't bring Captain Phasma back because you've missed your window. And with the EU, there was an opportunity for them to do a lot of cool things, but they've missed their window. So
yeah.
Female Fett was not a hit.
No. And I think that they can't really stand to have the EU still around because it just shows up how awful their stories are. You know, they don't want that. That's comparison.
Let's see. The River Chris 2790 says fixing Star Wars is easy. Soft reboot with 9 and split into 2 parts. End of part 1 reveals Luke is alive. Do an Old Republic and Obi-Wan movie. That could work. Logan Michael, episode 9 or Star Wars episode 9. Rey is transgender.
Jeez. Honestly, if Solo would have been like $1 billion movie, that probably would have been really possible.
Yeah.
These people think that shit sells. Chibi Wolvie says, did they really screw the pooch, or did they manage to push Kathleen's narrative? The Force is female and men are useless.
What? Say that again. Now, did they?
From Chibi Wolvie, did they really screw the pooch, or did they manage to push Kathleen's narrative? The Force is female and men are useless.
I mean, I think it's kind of both. I mean, they've screwed it up, and it's all based around her narrative. So I think it's kind of one and the same.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that they really were furthering what she wanted. I think she got what she wanted, if that's what you're asking. I don't think that they fucked up her wonderful vision for Star Wars. She didn't have a wonderful vision for what she wanted. Trust me.
I go back to what I said earlier in the show. It's the arrogance of thinking that Star Wars can survive any of this nonsense, and it can't. And they're finding out the hard way. So I feel like she, with her, Hollywood ways, they felt that they could just interject their political agenda into it. And because it's the strongest brand in movies, that it would be fine. And if they lost the old fans, it's not a big deal because we're going to bring in a wave of new fans. And those wave of new fans didn't show up because logical thinking people understand that SJWs don't buy toys and go to movies. So...
Right, and they're not going to have 40 years of fandom depth in their devotion to the franchise. They're like basically ADD little minions that get distracted by this flash or that flash, and they're going to scurry off against the next trend. There's no depth to their devotion to Star Wars, and Star Wars is going to pay.
I like the way you worded that.
Yeah.
Nicholas Glenn, hi, Doomcock. Seen Cobra Kai? You should do a review.
Oh, God. I love Cobra Kai.
Me too.
Cobra Kai kicked fucking ass. Let me tell you something. Cobra Kai and Star Trek Continues are exactly the way forward that these franchises should look at, because Cobra Kai was the product of people who knew the original mythos, had reverence and love for the original mythos, and had the talent to move it forward. Same thing with Star Trek Continues. Those guys worked miracles with their Star Trek, and they had to be ended because they were showing up the shit show that is Star Trek Discovery. That's what we need. People who know what they're fucking talking about, have the talent to pull it off, and the love to make it genuine. So fucking Cobra Kai kicked ass. That's my review.
I can't say anything other than you are 1000% spot on. Cobra Kai is incredible. There's no amount of praise that gives this series justice. I've watched it twice now, all the way through, and the second time was better than the first because it honors the source material, and it evolves the story so well. It starts out with the characters that we know. Yeah. Okay, 30 years later, what are you interested in? Oh, well, let's just start out with a girl that we don't know. No. Give us the characters we know, and then a couple of episodes in, and then you start sprinkling those new characters in. And that's what they did with Cobra Kai. You start really starting to evolve the new characters, and then we slowly start caring about the new characters after we've established our old characters, what they've been up to. And it was beautiful, and it was diverse. It had all types of people in it, and we all loved it.
Yeah, and I didn't even notice because who cares? I mean, They were telling the story. If you present me with a black character or a woman character and they're good, that's how I accept them. And I'd be furious if then in a reboot you tried to turn them into a male character and a white character. Goddamn.
And
that's the problem.
And Johnny got to smack around SJWs the entire season, and it was beautiful.
That was awesome.
I know.
I love how he treated us.
No, man.
I love
incorrectness.
I love on episode 10. I think that guy that was fighting in the finale, and he's like, inclusion and diversity, and we need to respect everyone. And Johnny's like, kick that pussy's ass, or whatever he said. Like, it was so good. It was so good. Oh man!
And you know, one of my favorite scenes in that, I gotta say,
in the High Council, I'm going to watch it right now. In the High Council, I'm done. No, I'm kidding. Go. So, go ahead, dude.
One of my favorite scenes was when Johnny and oh Christ, you know, the Karate Kid. They're sitting in there in the car, and REO Speedwagon comes on, and they're like, "Yeah, you like the Speedwagon?" And they're driving, and they're both bobbing their heads.
What kind of man does it? Yeah. What kind of man doesn't like Speedwagon? You're like,
that was
so good, so good. We should just do a watch party of Cobra Kai. That's what we should do.
Oh, yes, God, yeah. We should do that one week on the High Council.
Oh, love it.
High Reclusiarch Grimalda says, I can't feel sorry for Hamill. This is the culmination of his ideology, and he will turn tail and run before criticizing it.
Yeah, that's true. That's sad.
Buzinski has a specific one for Jeremy. Jeremy, I want my Star Justice Wars t-shirt, you pleb.
Did you order it? It was on the Teespring site, so if it hasn't been shipped, let me know, because, I mean, that's all on Teespring's end. So just let me know. Shoot me an email, jeremy@geeksandgamers.com, or private message me on Twitter. I will dig through my inbox and find it. Just put attention, asshole. I'm probably going to get a lot of those now.
I'm going to email you that from now on. Attention, asshole. I have your phone number. I'm going to text you that constantly. Let's see. Spidley gave $1. Thank you very much, Spidley. Laura makes Star Wars fun again. So I guess it's okay for SJWs to appropriate nerd culture. Sorry about the cocks out. It's an EVS thing. Never apologize on the High Council. Just have fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when Star Wars was fun. That was the,
that was
the best part of it.
Yeah.
Downforward Punch, Harvey and Cecil podcast. When? We can make stuff happen. Don't worry, Downforward Punch. Repressed gaming memories. I have Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead queued up for Kathleen's big moment.
Yeah, we all do in our hearts.
We all do. We see every time I make a Kathleen Kennedy video, which is every other day because it gets great hits. But every time I see the comments, Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead, every time. So,
which old witch? The Wicked Witch.
Baczynski says, so if Rey previously trained and just forgot everything, this is basically the plot of Knights of the Old Republic. Like they're going to do something original. Baczynski, come on now. What do you expect? Mavis says, Harvey, 2024, end the universe on a high note.
Mahaviz. He's one of my legionnaires at my patreon.com/Doomcock site. Mahaviz, God bless you, sir. It's good to hear from you. Sending a shout out to Mahaviz. He's a great guy. Really good, very philosophical bent, very intelligent fellow.
Avenger 1212 says, we all know episode 9 will come out like an elevator fart. What? I've never heard elevator fart.
I'm riding on the escalator of fart.
Did you say escalator of heart or escalator of fart?
Escalator of fart. We're talking about Kathleen Kennedy, goddammit.
That's a creep. Ryan Pepper, Doomcock, Palpatine idea is dope. Doomcock 2020.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I like that idea. They won't do it because it would not sufficiently circumvent our expectations. And really, that's what business is all about, isn't it? Yeah, I really love it when I buy a box of macaroni and cheese and find Raisin Bran in it. That really makes my fucking day. That's a great idea.
I have a request. It's on the spot, okay? But Doomcock, are you familiar with Alex Jones?
Yes, I am.
Can you do the frickin' frogs gay in just full Doomcock / Alex Jones voice? Like
the freaking frogs gay. Okay.
I had to hear. I know the chat's gonna go crazy whenever they catch up.
The frogs been turned gay. Nobody's listening to me. What's happening to our world? I'll be back here with a message. Supplements I want to talk to you about.
Male vitality. We are the resistance.
Resist with some Raisin Bran from my special.
Chat's going crazy now.
1776. Party on Civvy wanted to let us know that we were streaming on the live stream trending page. So, Viva WCBS! Thank you, Party on Civvy, for letting me know that we were on that page. I had a huge jump in subscribers because of that, so that was awesome.
Wow! I hope I get some subscribers. People subscribe to Doomcock. I'm holding the line here against the canon wars, the desecration of our modern mythology, and the destruction of our cultural heritage. And I need your help. Support Doomcock in his struggle to not only conquer the world, but to fix the goddamn thing.
Don't worry, Doomcock. I'm going to bring you up on every stream for the rest of the week so people can find you, because this has been one of our best episodes. This has been great.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Baczynski says, what if Luke came back into the trilogy as a severed hand, just as that character from the Addams Family? Thing? I like it. Is he going to give the finger to Rey?
That was good. That was great.
That was one of our best of the night. Thank you, Baczynski. You rock, dude. Edward Coleman, episode 9, Ryan Johnson cleaning Kathleen Kennedy's balls. Ew. Capo Orso says, Hamill's April Fool's joke was the best idea for episode 9. Look it up. Read it.
I'm not familiar with that.
Not either. I'll take a look.
I'll have to check that out myself. Thank you, Capo Orso. Armageist says, next High Council, Doomcock with Mr. Mitokur. Or Mitokur. I don't know. I know the channel. I don't know how to say the name.
Mitokur. I don't know who Mitokur. I don't know. Who is he?
Some guy that does huge numbers. So he's always welcome.
Awesome.
Logan Michael wants to let us know that the Toys That Made Us is good. I've seen every episode, Logan Michael, except for the Hello Kitty episode. So I enjoy the series quite a bit.
Yeah, I watched the Star Wars one and I watched the Star Trek one. I haven't had much time. Doomcock is always, busy ranting and, drinking and building robots and kicking around in his bathrobe, telling kids get off his fucking lawn.
I've seen the Star Wars one and the G.I. Joe one because I was a G.I. Joe kid.
Yeah.
So
I'm still waiting on one for Power Rangers toys. That was my jam as a kid. So when they do that, I will probably make a day out of it. I still have all my old Power Rangers toys. I'm never getting rid of them. Let's see. Chris Sailing says, shit flavored ice cream is still shit. Shit canned most of Lucasfilm. Go back to the original canon. That's the only way to fix it.
Amen.
Chibi Wolvie says Kathleen Kennedy, Star Wars belongs in the STD universe. Ruined.
Yeah, it really is. God damn, what they've done to Star Trek. It fucking pisses. I mean, that's the rage that drove me onto YouTube in the first place. You know, I couldn't stand that fucking Mikey Spock and the goddamn Kling orcs, and it's just the fucking wholesale rape of Star Trek. It is a fuck. I mean, you know, we had about 4 hours of desecration on Star Wars, but they pounded that bitch for 15 hours, 15 episodes, and it is relentless and horrible. God damn it. It makes me mad.
I wasn't going to watch it because it was on a streaming service that I wasn't going to pay for, but now I'm definitely never, even if it's given to me for free. No, thank you.
No, I summarize all the episodes in my reviews. It tells you all you need to know, man.
Let's see. Chris Farrington says, first 3 episodes of Altered Carbon were mind-blowing. The last 3 episodes were Mystery Science Theater 3000 worthy. Ooh. Damn. That is a big fall from grace. Big Tim King says, no Ethan. No, Ethan is trapped in, was it Chicago?
I'm not sure where he's at.
No. Well, Ethan is with us in spirit. He's always with us in spirit.
He's in an undisclosed location.
They got him, guys. They're turning the frogs gay. They're turning Ethan gay. Logan Michael says, I just spilled coffee on my laptop and the microphone isn't working. I can't talk on Wednesday. Logan Michael, don't worry, my friend. We will be doing our Patreon live hangouts on YouTube every month, the last Wednesday of every month. So you guys, if you're patrons of our channel, for just $1, you can be on tomorrow night's show. Make sure that if you have done it, awesome, and make sure you're available. Nicholas Glenn says, Doomcock, where did you get your mask? I want one.
Oh, there's a long story behind that, but it is a custom, one-of-a-kind mask. It is a helm that I won in another dimension. It's a long story, very comic booky, but yeah, there's only one. There's only one. And who knows? Maybe if I, get 1 million subscribers or something, I'll start making some copies or something, selling them.
Merchandising.
Yes.
Cardboard Kenny, how long before this channel falls to Doomcock? We already have, dude.
Well, yeah. Oh, Cardboard Kenny. Cardboard Kenny is a fucking character. He is a talented guy, and he made a Doomcock doll. A miniature of Doomcock, and he's making a miniature of my entire set and Harvey, and I'm going to do a whole episode on that set, like an alternate universe Doomcock review. It's going to be pretty funny. Thank you, Kenny.
That is awesome. I want an action figure based off me. Yeah. Come on, people, make it happen. That's my #1 dream in life.
To be shrunk.
Andrew Dale says, just think if they were to fix episode 9, then we would have to sit through episode 8 each time to see the full story. Ugh.
I just threw up a little bit in my mask.
Bazinski says, you're not talking about politics in Star Wars, you're talking about politics around Star Wars. True.
That's partly true, but there's also the agenda is mirrored in the product. I mean, they're not, I don't know, that's tricky. I think that they do subtly put some political messages in there, but really with the casting and the attitudes and the way that they slight the men and promote the women, I think that is political. What do you guys think?
Well, I think the way he says, like, the politics around Star Wars, I think the politics around Star Wars' creation have sunk in. So I think we're in there as well as around. I think it's like both things. I don't know how to say it more clearly than that. So
yeah. I mean, it's a slippery slope with all of it. But at the end of the day, it's personal politics taking precedent over the story.
Yeah.
Comrade Commodore wanted to let us know that he couldn't listen live, but he was here. Thank you, Comrade Commodore.
Comrade Commodore.
64. Robert McRae says Disney's first Star Wars blunder was hiring JJ. If Jeremy was a Trekker, he would realize Star Wars is dead. Feeling is deja vu for us fans of Trek.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but if you look at it, when JJ came on, they had already thrown George's script out. So you can't say that was their first mistake if George's script was already thrown out. And they had already decided that they were pushing the old characters to the back to focus on the new characters. So you can say JJ hiring was a mistake, but it can't be the first mistake because the first mistake was already made before he even walked in the door.
Well, I have to kick Jar Jar Abrams a little bit more here. I would like to remind all of you that it was Jar Jar Abrams who made sure that we'd never get all three of the original characters on screen together because he killed Han. Okay. And that was never okay. Just like it wasn't okay to give the Falcon to fucking Rey and throw in Chewie as Rey's pet in the bargain. So I got to say, a lot of the daggers in Star Wars back got put there by Jar Jar Abrams himself, that pickle-nosed fuckhead. Okay. Bad Robot is ground zero of the franchise rot that has afflicted Hollywood.
And I can't argue with you on that. Cannot argue those points at all. So, but just to the point of what it was saying, their first mistake. The first mistake was throwing George's script out. That was the first mistake.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I agree with that.
Gary McAllister says, why couldn't Lucasfilm have the balls to give us the original Timothy Zahn Thrawn trilogy for episode 7, 8, 9 instead of this hot crap we got instead?
Social justice.
Yeah. Yeah. Ego.
Ego and arrogance is what I would definitely say all those answers are correct in my opinion, but ego is number one, man.
Yeah.
We don't have that kind of influence and power, but they are drunk on that kind of stuff. It's very prevalent.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to what I was saying earlier about their arrogance and thinking that Star Wars was bulletproof. And that's exactly what they thought. Star Wars was bulletproof. It can handle all this stuff, and we're going to usher all these new people in. And I mean, I can honestly see why they would have come to that conclusion. And Star Wars, the fall of Star Wars it's a lot steeper than even I thought it would be this quickly. You know, I didn't think it would happen this quickly. But we all saw the writing on the wall. But my God, man, I just didn't see Solo doing $350 million. You know what I mean?
It's an afterthought.
It's crazy.
Yeah, when I saw it, I wasn't surprised. You know, I remember, call me old fashioned, but I remember the time when Star Wars was shot in color, you know, instead of blue and gray. It was a colorful thing, and I miss that.
Somebody brought up a point to me over on our Facebook page about how these new movies aren't shot like Star Wars movies, and they don't look and have the tone or feel of Star Wars, and that's another thing going against them. They said they use the word too modern. Modern can be good, modern can be bad. I think you already had the appeal to the Star Wars brand. Make it what we all knew on certain levels. I think subconsciously they fucked it up too for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Star Wars was always retro, actually. I mean, they were trying to harken back to, you know, the thrillers of old and, you know, colorful comic book narratives and so on. And, you know, making it like this shit, like it's a fucking Bourne, you know, Jason Bourne movie or some shit. That's the wrong tone, sir.
Yeah, they ruined 007 for a couple of years like that, too, but that's a tangent I can't get on tonight. Believe me, it's going to be like a 12-hour show. Perseus the Cat says, Doomcock 2020.
Thank you, sir. You are a cool cat and a wise one.
I'll be the ones just gave $5 so thank you. I'll be the one. Dallas Deadeye said, I have it on good authority that EVS was afraid of Doomcock. Uncle E's soy genes got the best of him. Ooh, shots fired.
Well, you know, $300,000+ on your comic project gives you a lot of courage. So I don't know that he's terribly scared.
Reggie B. Cable says, I just launched my Indiegogo Red Giant Battle with Konami 80s box art. Tom Dubois. Wish us luck.
Good luck, sir.
Good luck.
Check it out. Everyone check out Red Giant Battle with Konami 80s box artist Tom Dubois. I wish them luck myself. And that's how we can always work as a community if we, you know, help each other out, support each other. We want to change entertainment. We're tired of this crap that infuses entertainment. Well, we go out there, we make our own, we help everyone find it. That's basically how you do it.
Yes. Could I send a shout out to somebody?
Of course.
A very small YouTube channel that used to do gaming, but is switching over to opinion. And I think she's got a lot of good things to say. Her name is Random Game User 42. She's a good friend of mine. And sometimes I go on her channel and chat with her. And she's a really great person. You ought to check out her channel, Random Game User 42.
Yeah, she's always on our stream. So
yeah, she's great. She's
a really supportive person. So guys, check that out too.
Yeah.
Anthony Mata, Doomcock, I will raise you an army. Will you award me a city filled with cosplaying Leia slaves?
And random game users in the comments right now freaking out. So,
ooh,
well, she's awesome, and she's been listening, and she's a very encouraging person, and she's one of my Legionnaires. She supports me, even though she's had it's not talking out of school to say that she recently had almost lost her cat. She had to have surgery on him, and it cost a lot of money. And she's been hurting. So I've been trying to, steer people to her channel and maybe give her $1 or $2 on her things. She deserves it.
About to subscribe right now.
Thank you, sir. That's awesome. And subscribe to me, God damn it. I can't take over the world alone.
Let's see. R. Kelly. Shout out to R. Kelly. Keaton is Batman. Bale sucks.
What the fuck?
All right. Fuck this. I'm done. This is that hate speech. Hate speech. Okay? We don't need hate speech. Now, I do love Keaton. I do. But Bale is my Batman. So
Bale is
that's your Batman right there for you, Jared.
Well, actually, I would say that my Batman is the animated Batman.
Ooh,
I think that's been the best Batman depiction, the purest Batman depiction. Very close to the comic book roots. His name was Kevin
Conroy.
Kevin Conroy.
Yep. God damn it.
Conroy's great. Yeah, Conroy's took a few jabs at Bale's voice, which, I mean, at this point, we get it. Bale's voice. I love how everybody that talks about Bale's voice, like when they say it and they make fun of it, they act like they're the first person that's ever brought it up. It's like, motherfucker, look, the shit's 10 years old, okay? Like, it's okay.
It hasn't aged well at all.
You're not the first. Like, everybody's like, yeah, Bale's voice sounds like throat cancer. Like, ha ha ha. Like, okay, dumbass. People are saying this for 15 years now. It's not new. It's great that you came up with that just now.
Well, the thing is, he didn't have that problem in Batman Begins.
He didn't.
When he ripped Carmine Falcone out of things, he's like, I'm Batman. And then zip lined up. I was like, yeah, Batman's back. And then in the next week, I'm not wearing hockey pants. It's like, what? There was an online debate about, was it hockey pants or hockey pads?
I agree with you. The Begins voice is perfect. Part of me wonders if Nolan messed with it in post. I don't think he did, because Nolan typically doesn't do stuff like that. But it's not good in The Dark Knight. That's the one thing in the movie I will give you. If you want to talk about any flaws in The Dark Knight, I'll give you the voice. It's a little over the top at times.
I want you to come back on when we do our live watch party with a patron, because I want to have your take on it, because there's a video that talks about the direction, the way the action shot under the Lower Wacker Bridge or whatever it's called in Chicago. Basically, the part where the Joker is in the train or the semi truck underneath and blows up Gordon's
Lower L.
Yeah. There's a really great video series that talks about how it makes no sense in terms of like action direction, and I'm going to send it to you, and then I'd like to have that discussion on air. I think it'd be it'd be very interesting for our fans out there.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, I genuinely love The Dark Knight, and so people are putting me on blast now because Nolan did mess with Bane's voice in post, so I guess so he could have messed with Bale's voice, and that's always been something I was curious about. Did he do something with Bale's voice, because the voice in Begins was spot on, like it was perfect in Begins. But yeah, it is like the rooftop scene with Harvey. If I get him to you, can you get him to talk? It's like, God damn, that's so much overkill, he must have friends, so I get it. I'm just saying it is what it is. It doesn't change the fact that I think Bale is a fantastic Batman and Bruce Wayne.
I just love, like in the Bell Tower in Batman '89, and Michael Keaton's like, you made me, I made you. You made me first. You killed my parents, and then it's just like I love the way the voice sounds, especially when he interrupts him. He's like, "Excuse me, you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?" And he's in the Michael Keaton voice, and then he goes into the Batman voice. It's just look. I don't hate Christian Bale. We can all agree that they're both better than George Clooney, right?
Oh God, yeah, yeah.
By the way, Doomcock, you brought up like a Batman the Animated Series. I just got Mask of the Phantasm on Blu-ray today, so
Excellent.
yeah, I had it on DVD. I got the toys from it. I love Batman so much.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
And then somebody said, I forgot this one. I'm going to have to do this one last one. Where's the trigger? Where's the trigger? I had to do it. So everybody wanted to hear it. So it's so bad. It really is bad. So, God damn it. It is bad. Maybe I need to acknowledge this a little more.
Or maybe it's a terrible part of an otherwise great. It's so distracting because everything else is on point.
Yeah, 100%. But I do love Michael Keaton's Batman. I really do. I think.
Well, either one of them was better than Mike Judge's Batman. Hey there, I'm Batman, and I sure like to get the Joker because he's a bad guy.
Doomcock, when you brought up Mike, we were talking earlier. You reminded me of a couple voices on King of the Hill.
That was spot on, man. That was spot on. That was great.
I love it.
I can do some of those voices pretty good.
Thrantra says that Alfred Molina's Doc Ock was the shit. We all agree.
Yes, he was.
Bacon Boy. Bacon Boy 408 or 478 says, watched Harry and the Hendersons with my 10-year-old last night. He laughed his ass off. Good movies are good movies.
Yep.
I like that sentiment. Good movies are good movies.
And Bacon Boy, I've already seen your other super chat that's coming my way. It's not being said, so just Jeff will get to it. So,
Flock of Seagirls says, Doomcock's voice is making me hallucinate.
Well,
Mike, go ahead. Sorry, make him hallucinate some more.
I was going to say something trippy. I don't know. I'm trying to think of
incense and peppermints, something like that.
Yeah, I walked into Nazareth, was feeling about, Big Lebowski.
I love that movie so much.
Greatness.
Let's see. Michael Hand says, I'm watching The Last Jedi on Netflix to make sure we haven't been too harsh on it. It's confirming what we already knew. It's really bad, but at least it's putting the final state of grief acceptance. Putting in the final state of grief acceptance.
Yes. Dr. Kubler-Ross would be proud of you.
Nicholas Glenn, Doomcock, where do you rank DS9 among Star Trek TV series? I thought DS9 had some of the best space battles and action out of any of the Star Trek shows.
It did, and it had a layer of drama and sophistication that was sometimes lacking in Star Trek The Next Generation, largely because it slipped kind of beneath Roddenberry's notice. I don't think that they were as bound by the strictures against crew members having interpersonal drama as they were on Star Trek The Next Generation. But I guess I would probably have to rank it. That's tough. I'd probably put it third, maybe second. It's hard. I'm an original Star Trek guy. Captain Kirk is my captain, and the Enterprise is my ship. But Star Trek The Next Generation had some incredible high points, just fucking incredible. And overall, I'd say that Deep Space Nine was better, but didn't quite equal those high points on The Next Generation, like yesterday's Enterprise, Measure of a Man. God damn, those are some of the best things ever made. So it's a very difficult call, but I have mad respect for all of those shows.
I'm glad you like the original one the best. I do too. I love 60s William Shatner from the Twilight Zone through Star Trek. He's just fun to watch. Even though there's cheese to it, it's so cool.
I really have a deep affection for the original show, and I got to say that I like those miniskirts.
You are so spot on. It's ridiculous. I was not prepared for this amazingness. So.
I thank you, sir. Thank you.
It's very impressive.
I am amazingly happy to be here. I'm delighted.
Next thing you're gonna say is that you respect women, and like if you,
I've always respected the women that I felt up. I sincerely wanted to know about their minds and their thoughts and their inner feelings about what I was doing as captain of the ship.
Oh God, Megatron.
My phaser is always set on condom.
Oh God. Megatron 0541. In episode 9, we find out Rey was engineered from Luke and Palpatine's DNA. She is gifted because midichlorians from Luke and Palpatine retain memory and skill. Contact with Luke's lightsaber awakened them. If that was explained earlier, I wouldn't be so angry with the movies. But
there's no way in hell that was even remotely in their minds. So,
Megatron, I like, to quote the X-Files, I want to believe, but I just can't. They've proven that they don't give a shit about forward progression in terms of storytelling. So,
yeah,
I don't ever want to.
Yeah, it feels like we're doing their work for them when we fill in the blanks in their shitty scripts, and I'm just sick of it.
Yeah, me too. There's no excuse. They're a multi-billion-dollar company owned by an even bigger multi-billion-dollar company. They can hire to have someone killed. They can hire someone to write a good story. So let's just focus on those things. God damn. Daniel Thomas, thank you for this very generous super chat. You too, Megatron, thank you for that very generous super chat. Doomcock, would you consider recording children's bedtime stories so I can force my kids to listen to you on Audible every night? It will help them grow up strong.
I don't want any wimps listening to my children's stories. And now, Cat in the fucking Hat.
Governor Tarkin says, guys, my girlfriend can't keep up. Say hello to my sugar tits. Hello?
Well, I'd like to oblige, but sugar.
Say it, Hank.
I can't.
Say it. I'll tell you what, man. Dang old sugar tits is dang easy. You just have to say, "Woo!" You got the dang old sugar tits, man.
I was not prepared for this at all.
Oh my God, you can't prepare for Doom.
I like some tits without sugar. I just lonely.
Oh my God. This is our best episode. We've reached the high point.
Holy shit.
The high of the High Council.
Spidley says, Doomcock is wrong about Westworld. Everyone is strong and everyone sucks. Male and female. Keep watching.
I don't know, man. I did a review. I went into excruciating detail about a lot of the illogic in the plot. So yeah, take a look at it. If you disagree, that's fine. And hell, I'm glad if anybody can enjoy that. I just couldn't. I mean, I sat through the whole thing, but my God, and they really torture you. I mean, that last episode was 90 fucking minutes of pure garbage. It's painful, man.
Hollywood Hulk Hogan says, if you're feeling low, watch Cobra Kai, brother.
That's right. That's right. It'll pick you up.
And I've seen Hollywood Hulk Hogan commenting, but there's a deeper question here. Which avatar is he using? Is it the NWO Hollywood Hogan, or is he using red and yellow?
He's using old man red and yellow. So we're talking post-2000. I'd say this looks like a picture of Hulk Hogan circa 05, 06, maybe when he fought Randy Orton or Shawn Michaels at SummerSlam.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to accept that because it was post-Hollywood. But you still should be going with the black. You should be going with the white and black NWO.
Because he's too sweet.
Oh, such good times. Jeff, we really need to do a retro wrestling episode just on my channel, your channel. I don't care where. We got it. And I can get a couple people in and we can talk some old school wrestling. We can do that for hours.
I want that to happen. Yeah. Believe me. I listened to the Bruce Pritchard podcast. He was talking about Sable today. And I was having flashbacks to the 90s. So
great memories there. So let's move on from that, though. So
Hyroclusiar Cremalda says, yeah, men are useless. Isn't that right, World War II? Hollywood Hulk Hogan is back. Can I get a hell yeah, brother? There you go. Hell yeah,
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, brother.
That's Austin's though. So
I know. Well,
Superdome, Silver Dome.
I was there for that.
I was there too. I was there. I couldn't, dude. I don't want to go on too far of a wrestling tangent, but dude, you want to talk about a little bitch? When Stone Cold's music hit, I was turned into a little bitch. I was so fucking happy. I was screaming like a little girl.
We all were, man.
So in a world of wrestling where you know everything that's going to happen. That was such a surprise, and I didn't know The Rock was going to be there. I just lost my freaking mind, dude. It was incredible.
That was the best way to start a WrestleMania, especially an anniversary show like that.
Yeah, man, it was a beautiful thing. So, all right, Dev, all right, we got to move on because I want to talk more about it right now. So.
Jesse Sauceda Jr. gave a super chat of 666. Doomcock should take over the CNN intro when James Earl Jones retires. This is CNN. Could you say that for Doomcock or say that for them?
I would be happy to. This is CNN.
That's good. That's good. Does everybody want to see Doomcock do a little intro for Geeks and Gamers? I want to.
I would be honored to, sir.
We're gonna have to make that happen. So.
We need a Doomcock button where we press, like this is easy button, just a Doomcock button, like a catchphrase that covers everything.
I like it.
See, Doomcock, we're gonna market you to the moon, brother.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Data Racer 117, what's up, man? Any thoughts on the anonymous email Rebel Force Radio got from Disney execs who said Lucasfilm employees are not following Disney's social media policy, and that will change, and that change will be coming? Have you guys heard about this?
I mean, I'm in contact with Rebel Force Radio consistently. I could ask them about that. I mean, I can get more information. I don't have any specifics on that. They've talking to me about a lot of other things. I don't know how much they want me to divulge, but yeah, I can get information if everybody wants it. So,
dude, try to get on the High Council. It's your week next week, man.
Yeah, I would see. I can see about getting those guys on. So,
let's see. Nicholas Glenn, what would Doomcock do if he was in a room alone with Kathleen Kennedy?
I would shame her. I would basically confront her with the terrible, terrible choices she's made and make her watch my review of The Last Jedi and watch her turn pale and wither and probably spontaneously combust. That's what I would do. Because of the sheer examination of the illogic and the trash that she spewed out there. I don't think she'd survive it, really.
Sulfuria, what's worse, the DCEU or sequel Star Wars?
Sequel Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of the DCEU at all. But here's the difference. And maybe this isn't fair. The big difference for me is like I said, I can accept a bad movie. I can accept that you tried to do something and you effed up. What I can't accept is that I'm constantly being called a racist and a sexist because I don't like your movie. And Zack Snyder took a lot of shit from people, and me included, and I mean, I didn't ever attack the guy. I like Zack Snyder. I didn't like his DCU. The man was always a professional. He's never attacked the fans. DC doesn't know what they're fucking doing over there, but that one thing they haven't done is attack the fans. I liked Man of Steel. I liked the first 45 minutes of Man of Steel, and I hated everything after that. I hated Batman v Superman altogether. Suicide Squad was bad, but I liked it, and I loved Wonder Woman. Justice League was, you could stomach it, but they never attacked the fans, and that's what I look at from there. So,
yeah.
Zack Snyder's professionalism has made me respect him beyond anything I ever could imagine respecting him. I've always liked him. I like his Dawn of the Dead. I love Watchmen. 300 is it's okay. I respect 300, but as a human being, Zack Snyder has my respect forever. So anyway, go ahead, guys.
I'll go sequel Star Wars are the worst, or the shittier of the two. Excuse me, can't speak. Brain fart. Yeah, Wonder Woman's fine. Justice League's fine. PVS is terrible, but not as bad as The Last Jedi. And Man of Steel is fine enough, but man, Suicide Squad can suck a dick. That is just as bad as The Last Jedi and Force Awakens. And Solo is better than Suicide Squad.
Really? God darn. I
It's hard to believe.
I found enough redeeming qualities in Suicide Squad. Again, I don't think it's a good movie. I don't. I just maybe I had really low expectations going into it, but I found enough to where I didn't hate it as much as I hated Batman v Superman. So
I wasn't
Solo is
even
shit. So
Solo was dumb, but I left the Suicide Squad film so angry and just so disappointed. And I had no preconceived notions. I wasn't like, we're gonna finally see Harley Quinn on screen. I didn't give a shit. I liked her in the cartoon. Oh my god, a new Joker. I saw the pictures. Fuck those pictures. Will Smith is Deadshot. Well, Will Smith is Will Smith. It's good or bad, depending on the movie. And I felt like I was beaten when I left that movie theater. I was like, they pulled one over on me. More so than with some of the other Star Wars movies.
See, I liked Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad. Will Smith, you're right. He's playing Will Smith. And I didn't like Leto's Joker. But overall, I don't know. I hate to use the fallback word of it's fun, but it was a little more fun than Batman v Superman. And there was one line in it, I can't remember now because it's been so long since I saw the movie, how they referenced Superman in the movie. Like, I felt like it was just a passing reference of Superman. I think Viola Jackson or whatever her name is said it, whatever the actress's name is.
Viola Davis.
Davis, yeah. And how they referenced Superman in that movie, I was like, that's how Superman should be, revered right there. But yeah, again, not a good movie. I just found enough that I didn't hate it, I guess. So.
Let's see. What was the next one? Matt Decker, Doomcock, is shouting the truth about Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah, damn right. I will never ever let that go. It's my bone that I just will not give up. That has been the most disgusting, revolting goddamn thing I've ever seen. I mean, goddamn. I mean, you guys don't watch it at all. You don't have any idea how bad it is. It is fucking stunning.
I feel bad for you on a personal level.
Yeah, because as a fan of the original series, Jesus Christ, it is actively, gleefully pissing all over it, stealing historical events from the original series and from Star Trek: The Next Generation, and just appropriating them. And Mikey Spock is the most obnoxious fucking character I think I've ever seen.
All right, so what's worse, Discovery or JJ Trek?
Discovery. Really? No question.
Because I know how much hardcore Trek fans hate JJ's Trek. So,
the first one was just a bunch of fluff. I mean, they set it off in an alternate universe, so it's just a action movie with Trek overtones. But the second one, Star Trek Into Discovery, was a goddamn abomination, like something that makes you question the existence of God when you leave the theater. It was so goddamn. And it was written by Alex Kurtzman, who is the piece of shit hack that is driving Star Trek Discovery into the ground and has just gotten control of the franchise for the next 5 years. So there is no hope. It's dead, Jim.
Can Stange says, I often imagine how powerful a scene it would have been to have Luke reconnect with the Force by sensing Leia in danger and finally lifting the X-Wing out of the murk to rush to her aid. Please stop sending in better ideas than what were in the films or what was in the film. I mean, you're hurting us on an emotional level. We could armchair direct 50 better scenarios. Maybe that'll be a video in the future. 50 better scenarios for Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Yeah, in 5 minutes. Go.
Yeah. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to make that happen here. 50 scenarios. Star Wars scenarios. I do take notes. By the way, folks, there was a listener out there, I think it was British Metalworks, who wanted me to talk to Ethan on British Metalworks. If you're listening, EVS is not here, but I'll make sure I send him that message privately so your words can get to him. And thank you, Can Stange. I appreciate your super chat. Do you guys want to add anything to that one before we go into the next one?
No.
No, that's good.
I've been trying to read all these random comments, so kind of.
Bacon Boy 478, Jeremy War Regal.
Okay.
Let's see.
No, the point he's trying to make is it's I don't know if you guys are familiar with, like, if you follow sports that much, but like Auburn football, their battle cry is something I won't say, and that's him trying to make me sound it out in another way. So it's very, very clever of him, but he's already failed because I saw it an hour ago when he sent it. So go ahead, move on.
God, that was almost an hour ago.
I love you, Bacon Boy.
McKinney 90. It's now world class Doomcock, and this is the Doomcock Council. We'll submit. Fuck it. It's a good time.
Bow down before Doomcock. Got that from Zod.
American Trent 421 says EVS got ripped and took a walk off a roof. God, I love the Batman 89 presence on this channel. We're doing it right here on One Class Bullshitters. S. Gamble 1682 says $340 million pledged now at the hashtag remake The Last Jedi. Wow, 340. Why couldn't we come up with a scheme like this, Jeremy? We could split it 3 ways. We would be 100 millionaires. Come on, dude.
I know. I mean, I knew about this long before it went, viral. I'm blown. I mean, I literally was just texting with person behind it. So, I mean, it's crazy to me. So,
well, it's never going to get fucking made. I mean,
no, not at all.
I don't get it. It's a statement, I guess.
It's a statement. It is a statement. The people aware of it know exactly what they're doing. So they know they're not idiots. So that's all I'll say, though. I'm not going to. I don't know what I can say, so I'm just not going to say anything else until I'm told I can say more. So,
well, this is a very generous super chat from PC Payload. SJWs and Star Wars are like your girlfriend, whom you love to death, bringing her over to your best friends. Who you love to death, bring over her best friend that everyone hates. She won't shut the hell up, and you can't kick her out unless you want to sleep on the couch. And then that's followed up by Doomcock.
Dictor and Doomcock. Yes.
There's a lot of love tonight for the Doomcock.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it.
Oh, and the chat was saying, I think you got the super chat mixed up. Because it hasn't raised 340 million. I think it's like 100-something million. I think that was referencing Solo's box office.
Oh, sorry.
But it has. But the remake of The Last Jedi, I mean, they were reporting that they've gotten over $100 million last I looked. So,
Jesus Christ. Either way, we could split that 3 ways. 33 and a third each. Yep. I wouldn't care about who gets that other percentage point or whatever. Live Bear Francier says, what are your ideas for new Star Wars movies? Mine is a Star Wars horror story starring a being made by Sith alchemy that hunts down forced sensitives. Ooh,
that actually sounds badass. So
shit, mine won't be that good.
No.
That sounds good.
I have this story in mind where Luke Skywalker actually has balls. So
I still want to see a Rogue Squadron movie, just flat out like an Ace Combat in space, have Luke wedge some of the other guys, and have it be between episodes 4 and 5. I really want to see. That's my dream Star Wars scenario: movies that take place between 4 and 5.
Death Troopers, the movie. Somebody said that actually sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I was kind of down on Rogue One, but damn, the Death Troopers are amazing. So. Does it say pledge? So it does say pledge 357 million to the last they have.
It says 340 plus mil pledged now at hashtag remake The Last Jedi.
God damn.
Wow.
I don't know. I have no answers. So
Logan Michael has 2 super chats in a row. So first off, what time will the Patreon stream start? Tomorrow night, folks, at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when our Patreon live stream will happen here on this channel. So that is your answer, Logan Michael. And to your second question, how much time is left here on the stream? Well, we're reading out the super chats, and then we're all going to go to bed because I got to be up in 6 hours for Good Morning Pop Culture. So
you're probably way behind right now, aren't you?
Oh, my God. That came from 30 minutes ago.
All right. So we just need to kind of let you kind of run through them, I guess.
All right.
And step aside.
So Evil Ash says Doomcock for Supreme Leader of High Council. We agree. He can have the show forever. Nicholas,
thank you, gentlemen.
Nicholas Glenn says, missed a funeral. Now my girlfriend said if I don't get off, no snatch for a week. I said I can't live. Sorry.
That's devotion.
That just got to me. Mr. Funeral. Now my girlfriend said if I don't get off, no snatch for a week. I said I can live with that. Long live Doomcock.
That is the greatest endorsement I have ever received. Sacrificing Snatch for Doomcock. Wow. No truer love hath a man to give.
Bacon Boy 478 says, I've sent 2 super chats to Jeremy. Well,
We got him both.
Bacon Boy.
We got him, Bacon Boy.
Thrantress says, best Batman quote. Some days you just can't get rid of a ball.
Yes, from the 66 movie.
Adam West.
Adam West.
Rest in peace, Batman.
I remember somebody memed that. Somebody memed that over the Dark Knight Rises scene with the bomb. With
yeah.
So great. So, but the shark repellent bat spray is the greatest scene in the history of Batman.
It just blows up.
It's so great, and the choreography is so pathetically, awesomely bad.
Can we call it choreography at that point?
Like when he wraps his legs like around and flips upside down so unnecessarily, like there was no reason for him to do that. It's so bad.
I think it's corneography. That's what it is.
Sorry, Jeff. I know you got to read these.
Oh, it's fine. Kevithar 1138, letting Doomcock's soothing tone lull me to sleep.
You will not think they're so dulcet when they're broadcast on the fly by 1,000 giant robots invading the world. So enjoy while you can.
Adam Wilcox, Doomcock, please do more live shows. Just please?
Yes, I'm actually, I just got monetized by YouTube. And so I will start actually doing some live streams of my own and maybe getting a few super chats so that I can actually afford to get cable, because I can't even afford to get cable right now. I put all my money into robot research, giant insects, that kind of shit, death rays. But I sure would like to be able to watch some ESPN. So yeah, I could use some super chats.
Go for FS1 because ESPN's garbage now. Are you a sports fan?
Yeah, I am.
Like football?
Yeah, football. Mixed martial arts.
No, you're coming. You're going to be on the Sports Wars. I have a sports channel, so you're going to be on Sports Wars. So
awesome.
Yeah, we'll talk about that afterwards.
Ivan Nieves says propane and propane accessories. Damn it, Bobby.
Dang it, Bobby! I tell you what, I try to interest the boy in propane and propane accessories like a normal red-blooded American man, but he's into all that artsy-fartsy, oh God, that art stuff.
How you tell it, call it like it is.
No.
All right.
Oh God, that's great.
Underscore J says Doomcock should read 50 Shades of Grey. Super Divorce says Good Brothers Council is too sweet. Toxic hootskis. Like the Good Brothers from wrestling? Stop calling here. Incredibles 2 was a feminist shit show. Geeks and Gamers review? ?
Well, we have a written review on geeksandgamers.com, not by me. If you think it's an SJW shit show, you won't like the review that one of my writers wrote. I haven't seen it yet. I've been too busy. I want to go see it. I've heard some people said it's SJW and a lot of people don't. I'm not under the impression it will be, but I don't know. I'll go see it at some point. So
I haven't seen it. I really love the first one. I mean, I thought it was incredible, but I've heard that there's this fucking annoying and awful strobing in the second one that could throw people into epileptic fits. And I don't think I'm epileptic, but I don't know. I don't really.
I mean, a lot of people accused it of being SJW just based on the trailers, but I looked at that as a natural evolution of the story with Elastigirl, taking over and him staying home, and that's fine. I mean, I get that, though. I get on the surface how you can look at that, but it's also like, what do you want? You just want it to be the Incredibles 1 all over again? I mean, so again, as someone that hasn't seen it yet, I don't know. I just I didn't anticipate it being SJW based on the marketing material. So, and I've heard split from people I trust. Some say it is, others say it's not. So I have no idea.
Let's see. We're finally getting to the end. Chris Prasa, you can't find one redeeming thing in Star Trek Discovery.
Not one goddamn thing. I take it from Doomcock. I have nothing but bottomless rage and fury for Star Trek Discovery, and I will slam the shit out of it every chance I get.
Take it from Doomcock. Take
it from Doomcock.
Walk it down. Walk it down.
That's a T-shirt in the making, man. Adam Walford, Babylon 5 did female characters better.
Yeah.
Logan Michael said, I have to go. Have a good one. You too, Logan Michael. Hope to catch you in the morning. Bazinski, she wants the D. Oomcock. That's how it was written.
Ooh. Well, come on down to the center of the earth. We'll have a party.
Astro Panda, I haven't seen Star Trek Discovery. What's worse, it or Star Trek VOY episode Threshold?
Star Trek Discovery. No question about it. It's a... Guys, there's no way... I've spent hours talking about how much I hate this thing. You go to my channel, youtube.com/Overlord DVD, and watch my Star Trek Discovery reviews, and you will see firsthand just how fucking bad entertainment can get.
Finally, we have our last super chat of the evening. From Dick McJackass, one of my favorite screen names. We need to build a blockade around Coruscant and make the Quarren pay for it. Get these damn aliens out of my core worlds. Human supremacy for life.
His screen name is worth the price of admission.
The picture, his icon is Palpatine in sunglasses. So... folks, I think tonight's stream was a huge success. We had Doomcock on, and I'd like to thank Doomcock for showing up. Doomcock, you're always welcome here on the High Council. You're definitely invited back for World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. So if you're ever free on Thursday night and you want to spread the word Doomcock and have some more fun, just let me know. You're welcome any week without, you don't have to, make plans in advance. Just say, hey, I'm free tonight. We'll make it happen. So
thank you very much.
What would you like to say to the listeners?
I just want to say it's been a hell of a lot of fun being here and meeting Jeff and Jeremy and hanging out with two fellow warriors in the culture wars that we're fighting. Thank you so much to everybody that gave a shout out to Doomcock. And please go and check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/OverlordDVD. And also consider going to my Patreon page, patreon.com/Doomcock. Actually, I would say that 50% of my content is exclusive over there. I do a lot of stuff for my patrons, full-length movie commentaries and stuff. So if you could spare $1 a month, you can participate in a Doomcock roundtable that we do every month. And we do that with live chat just like this with everybody talking. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, just thank you so much. And I hope that you'll subscribe and help me to gain a few subscribers. I'd really appreciate it.
Well, Chris Canmore sent in a super chat and said, love you guys. I just subbed to Doomcock.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. That's wonderful.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of positivity. High Council ruled tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a great episode, and I just want to thank Doomcock for coming on and surpassing every expectation that I had, and it was an amazing show. His impressions are spot on. Once again, I want to congratulate Jeff for hitting 60,000 subs. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing, yes.
And we just continue to kick ass and take names around here, and it's all because of you, the amazing community we have. Moving forward, Doomcock has definitely got an open invitation to be on Geeks and Gamers and the Sports Wars channel that we have. I'm happy to know you're a sports guy because I'm really trying to develop that sports channel. So we're in the early phases of that. And yeah, this is the next few days are going to be a hit or miss for me on YouTube because I'm moving my studio to another room. I almost said something. I almost said I'm transitioning, and every time I say that, people are like, "Oh, you're transitioning, Jeremy? Are you transitioning?" And so they got me. They've got me second guessing my words. But yeah. So again, thank you all. It's been a great night, and Doomcock, it's been an honor having you. Jeff, thank you for having me again. And why am I thanking you? I'm always on here. Fuck you. And we did miss the great EVS, but he's in our hearts and our souls. And EVS, yeah. and I'm sure he's somewhere singing in his soy pants right now. So
Well, before we close this out, McKinney90 popped in with another super chat just in the wire. Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Doomcock.
Thank you. She must have seen my my last Westworld thing. I kind of had a rootin' tootin' country theme to that. So thank you so much. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say good night and thank you to everyone who watched the show. Make sure you guys watch Good Morning Pop Culture if you're up early in the morning. And if you're not, watch the recording of it. Now, Doomcock, we're honored to have you here. Close out the show with a "This is CNN," followed by some Doomcock line of dialogue about taking over the world.
This is CNN. And breaking news, Doomcock has just emerged from the center of the earth with his robot army. Oh my God, the humanity! Oh!
Yeah, I told you so.
Good night, folks. We'll be back next week with more high counts.
Good night.